Welcome y'all to another episode of the panel. We had some good ass games last night, and we are going to get directly into that. Before we do that, I just want to let you guys know that this show is brought to you by none other than PrizePicks. The knockout rounds started last night. We had two good games: the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Orlando Magic, and then we had the Dallas Mavericks versus the Thunder. And two superstars took control of their games and advanced their team to the next round. One being Giannis Antetokounmpo, willing the Bucks to a tight win over the Orlando Magic. And then we had SGA. Just be SGA and show us just how great he really is. And he ended up sending Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Jason Kidd, and the Dallas Mavericks back to Texas. How are we feeling about these games, fellas? Let's start with the Oklahoma City Thunder whooping on the Dallas Mavericks last night. Talk to me about this game, fellas.
It looked personal, Ron. That's what it looked like more than anything last night. What you saw last year, we ain't them dudes no more. No, it's a different crew this year, and we ready for you dudes. And a lot of people discount the regular season, and I understand that they do it on some level because, I mean, it's hard to get up for every game, especially in the dog days of the season. But last night looked like these guys were more prepared than they were for anybody. They looked like they were sending a message that get used to seeing what you're seeing now. I thought it was great what Oklahoma City did in terms of their rotations. I think that was the best part of their defense was their rotations. As good as they were individually, you and I had this conversation last year, Ron, during the playoffs, and you roasted me for it, because I want to get the ball out of Luka's hands. I don't want the ball in Luka's hands. And Oklahoma City did a great job in blitzing Luka and getting the ball out of his hands and making other guys make plays. And when they did that, they also did a great job in shooting gaps and rotating. And they just did a really good job in keeping Dallas off balance. I thought that was great. So that game looked personal last night to me more than anything.
Mars, what's your thoughts on this game?
It was a really good game. Shea was really good. My main thoughts was it's interesting how defensive reputation works and how much you're allowed to get away with when you're deemed a good defender. That's very interesting. Watching the things that Lou Dort's able to get away with. But if a bad defender were to do what he would do, he would foul out in 6 minutes. So it's very interesting how you get more leeway the better of a defender you are to do bad defensive things. But I think OKC's defense in general was elite, forcing turnovers in that first half. I don't know how many they forced, but it was a bunch of them. They weren't even scoring efficiently. They were just getting out in transition, which was helpful.
Pretty sure they had 12 turnovers.
I know Derek Lively had 12. I know Derek Lively had 2 because I told you guys we get 2 turnovers.
No, 18. They forced 18 turnovers.
Jesus. But yeah, just being able to play their game, shrink the floor. Luka was being hounded all night long. I don't think there's many teams that are capable of simultaneously getting the ball out of Luka's hands, but then also not giving up like easy lobs and dunks. So like not many teams could do what OKC does. So,
where do you think that comes from, Moss? In your estimation, when you watch, like, why aren't other teams able to get the ball away from Luka as well as Oklahoma City is able to do it?
Athleticism and mobility. You got to be able to cover the space on the floor. And if OKC and like Orlando fully healthy, like maybe the only teams I can see who can cover the amount of ground that easily. Like maybe Boston, but then with Porzingis out there, I don't know. But like maybe Boston. But everyone else, I don't really think they have much of a shot of being able to get around the court as easily as OKC does. That's what makes them so dangerous, because they shrink the floor, but they can also get out to guys with relative ease and then still deflect passes and slow down your offense and all of those things. So it's really hard to score on OKC. But then also in the same breath, I'm not going to overreact and then act like Luka's just never going to be able to score on OKC. I think Luka will play better whenever they see them next. So I think it was a good game. I think not having PJ there, not having Chet there, it's not like a full indication of what's going to happen in the postseason. But I do think the way OKC approached the game is similar to how they would approach the game in a playoff setting. But like them not struggling on the glass, I think PJ Washington's a big part of that. PJ Washington's like Dallas' second best rebounder, and he wasn't there. So Isaiah Hartenstein was feasting on the glass. Their wings are crushing offensive rebounds. They'll be able to do that because they're ganging up on Dallas is one big. So I think it was a good game for OKC. They played great. Definitely deserved to win. Like there was no world in which I saw Dallas winning that game. And yeah, they handled business. I didn't expect them to handle business. I didn't know who was going to win last night's game. I think I actually said if I had to guess, I would say Dallas, but that was before I knew PJ wasn't playing. But yeah, OKC, they're the best team in the West. Last night didn't really confirm it because I already thought it was the best, but it helps their case. I think now people might view them as more serious, maybe. Or I'll just say Dallas was never that serious. One or the other. But yeah, that's my thoughts on last night's game.
Yo, Spiller, and yo, we got a guest on. We got an honored guest. He goes by the name of Spiller.
Unbelievable.
Spiller,
Unbelievable.
Were you able to watch this game last night?
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get a dude a plate. You're gonna sit down and start eating, and then you're gonna introduce him to us. Unbelievable.
What's good? My name is Spiller. I'm new here. Shout out to Mars. You know, seen him.
No, it ain't got nothing to do with you, Spill. It's the host here. That's just the host. That's all.
Better late
you
than
said
never.
Shout out to who?
Shout out to Mars.
Why?
I've seen Mars in comments in a couple of my videos before. We've interacted a little bit.
Oh, was he trolling in your comments or was he
trolling a little bit? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think the last thing he commented was about Jalen Green or something like that, saying he played fine. The game he had like 9 points, Philadelphia.
I just seen one of your videos about the Warriors trading for LeBron and Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I think that's stupid.
I was gonna comment, but I was too lazy to troll. So
yeah,
I
got you.
I just
too
kept
lazy to
pushing,
troll?
I just seen that literally like 10 minutes ago. So.
Spiller, where can we find you at?
Spiller's Burner on TikTok, Spiller's Burner on Twitch. Yeah, that's my main two things. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so your burner account's your main account.
Basically, yeah. That's basically how it goes.
Okay. But yeah, so talk to us a little bit more about this game, though. What'd you see in this game? What stood out to you?
So last night for me, I wasn't really sure if Dallas or OKC. Like before that, Dallas was rolling. Obviously, OKC's we already knew how good they've been for a while. But that last night for me definitely showed that they are the best team in the Western Conference for me. So whenever Lou Dort's on the court, he seems like a type of guy that's like the best defender possible to put on Luka Doncic. And it seems like the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks are kind of brewing a little bit of a rivalry. Whenever Luka Doncic has the ball or anything like that, the Oklahoma City Thunder crowd are booing him. It gets a little chippy at times. The biggest reason why the Oklahoma City Thunder lost the series last year against the Dallas Mavericks is because of rebounding, and getting Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be a big plus for them whenever they do play the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs. Whenever they get fully healthy with Chet Holmgren, and I know Jalen Williams, the center, not J-Dub. Whenever he gets back, that's going to add to the depth of that team. And I think the Oklahoma City Thunder have probably the deepest roster in the NBA right now. And so for me, it just showed that the Oklahoma City Thunder are definitely leagues ahead of any team in the Western Conference. And I'm not sure if in the playoffs this year, if PJ Washington's probably going to be the primary defender on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm not sure how well that's going to end out for the Dallas Mavericks. I don't think that's – I don't know. I'm taking the Oklahoma City Thunder in the series.
So
Mars,
I wasn't able to work. Go ahead, Chill. You got it.
Mars, what didn't you like about Lou Dort in terms of his physicality? What was it? Because it sounded like the whistle wasn't blowing as much last night for Lou Dort. It
felt like the playoffs. It felt like the playoffs.
It's not what I don't like. To be honest, it doesn't bother me. It's just I'm just noticing it that once you get
that's what I'm saying. Let me rephrase that. What did you notice?
Once you get a defensive reputation, I just think you're allowed to get away with more things that a quote unquote bad defender wouldn't be allowed to get away with.
Right.
And I think it's the same thing as a on offense as a superstar gets favorable calls that a non-superstar wouldn't get. Mm-hmm. I just think that's the equivalent defensively. It's not a problem with it. It's just something I notice. I think guys like Lou Dort, guys like Drew Holiday, guys like Marcus Smart are allowed to get away with more physicality or just straight out fouls that a bad defender wouldn't be allowed to get away with because they are deemed as good defenders. And I think OKC used that to their advantage, which they should, because if they have that advantage, go ahead and use it. The same way, if you know you have a great offensive player, they're likely to get the favorable whistle in terms of getting to the free throw line. You use that to your advantage. It's just something I'm noticing. I'm not using it to disparage OKC. It's me noticing how I think reputation also benefits defensive players the same way it does with offensive players.
Now, is it fair, Mars, that and this is for the fellas? Is it fair that when I've developed that reputation, should I not take advantage of it?
Of course, you should.
Yeah, absolutely should. You should do whatever you can. Any advantage you may have to win is something you should use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna say anything about that. I think if you have something at your advantage that maybe you shouldn't have, it's not your job to tell tell the league, tell the commission you shouldn't have this advantage. It's your job to use that advantage so much that maybe they realize maybe you shouldn't have it.
You
That's
probably
what you
should be
should
calling this foul on me.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say
that's
that.
what you should do. You should go all the way to the limit of what you can do. That's what you should
Fair
do
enough.
if you want to win. So it's not a
But
problem.
when you're guarding somebody that's a physical offensive player, somebody that's gonna bang, somebody that's gonna put their weight on you, somebody that's gonna impose themselves on the defense, you should be able to play physical against them. You should. You should. Luka's a big, heavy dude, and he's gonna come through the lane. He's gonna make you feel him. So a guy like Lu Dort, who is smaller, should be able to get up under him. Should be able to hit him early. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, some of them. It's like when you putting two hands on him, right up under his arms, like right here, pushing him like you're playing football. Call the foul, ref. But other than that, though, like you should be able to hit him. I should be able to hit Luka Doncic because he's gonna hit me.
I mean, Lu Dort is. I think Lu Dort goes at what does Lu Dort go about 6'3", 6'4", and Luka goes about what
235 maybe.
Yeah, and Luka's like 6'6", 6'7", and
360.
Yeah, Luka's probably about 240.
080.
and that guy leaning on you all night long. I mean, I should be able. I'm gonna have to use everything to my advantage, right? I'm gonna use forearms. I am gonna use my hands. I am gonna push. I mean, I'm going to use my knee, and I'm not going to do it blatantly, but I am going to use I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to make sure that I have an advantage on him because I'm already giving up size. He's 6'7". I'm 6'4". That's this. It's not like I'm 6'5" and he's 6'6". No.
And I'm pretty sure none of us are going to act like Lu Dort's playing dirty. You know what I'm saying? He's not playing dirty. He's not
just playing physical.
Right. It's not like he's. At least I haven't seen him grab his arms and pull him down like Kelly Olynyk did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing none of that type of stuff. I'm seeing him just get up under him early, like you're supposed to do when you're a smaller defender. I'm supposed to put my shoulder up around your hip area and nudge you a little bit, try to get you off your spot, try to make you feel uncomfortable. That's good defense.
Right.
Basketball is a contact sport, right?
100% it is. Yes, it is,
Okay.
Ox. And
as somebody who's typically a primary defender on the other team's best player, you got to do that type of stuff. You gotta impose your will early, if you will. Lu Dort got to take any advantage that he can to frustrate Luka, and we all know Luka. Luka can be frustrated at times. Luka will get mad at the refs. If Lu Dort does his job should be to turn Luka into not me focusing on the defense, but me now focusing on the three refs. Right. And also, too, the thing about Lu Dort, Chill, I know you know this. Ox, I know you spoke about this plenty of times. And me as a point guard, shooting guard, I hate when I have to deal with a defender that's smaller than me, stronger than me, and quicker than me. Because I know he's going to be under me all night long, pushing me, and it's just going to be frustrating. And Lu Dort has that advantage against Luka. We know, Lu Dort is not a weak guy at all. Lu Dort is a solid 235, how Morris just said, whatever his weight may be.
He looks like a football player.
Feel it. Yeah, he looks like a football player. So Lu Dort's job is to pester Luka, push Luka around, and try his best to bully Luka.
How many fouls did he have last night? Do you know? Because
3, I think.
3. And see, I'm asking that to get to that point. If I'm Lu Dort's coach, if you finish the game and you don't got 3 fouls, we got a problem.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? I need my dirty work guys. I need my big guys. You gotta finish the game with 3 fouls. You're not touching nobody. Like what's going on here? Now, obviously, like I said, I don't think he's a dirty player. I'm not talking about Sean Payton putting bounties on people. Sure. No, we're not doing none of that. Like that's terrible. But still, like touch somebody.
Now Ox, and you and I watched this last night, and Lu Dort's defense got compounded by Oklahoma City's rotations. There was one play specifically that I saw where Luka has the ball and Luka's coming off a screen. With Luka coming off the screen, Derek Lively is diving to the basket. Well, Derek Lively diving to the basket. Williams, not J-Dub, but the other Williams, number 34, he rotates over. If he doesn't rotate over, Luka spots him, and that's a dime right to the rim. If he doesn't rotate over. So the fact that he rotated over and gave Hartenstein that half a second to get back into action, that helps the defense. If you're not rotating, then whatever we doing, it doesn't matter. Everybody's got to be on the same page. They did the same thing when they were blitzing Luka. It was on the right wing. They blitzed Luka. With them blitzing Luka, J-Dub was on the other wing. He was on the left wing. He shoots the gap. Now I think it was Wiggins. I want to say Wiggins is covering. I forgot who it was in the corner, but Wiggins is covering. He's further away from the ball. So with him being further away from the ball, that means that I am the help guy. So when I'm the help guy, Luka fires it to the corner and makes him shoot a three when the shot clock is down. That's good defense. And that good defense is comprised by rotating. If you're not rotating, then it doesn't make a difference what you are as a one-on-one defender. Because if the ball moving and you not moving, you're killing us on defense. So that's one of the main reasons I feel like Oklahoma City, their defense is as good as it is, because they do great in rotations. And
because they play defense. Like, now I'm not trying to downplay what they're doing, but these are basic defensive principles that a lot of people are not doing. Like we were talking about just the other day, and we talked about it again last night with the Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns is just backpedaling. We call that drop defense. I call it no defense. You know what I'm saying? If this is drop defense, if this is what drop defense has come to, we gotta stop. Because like and there's two things that OKC is doing. First, Alex Caruso, Lou Dort. These guys aren't just trailing behind the guy like, oh, it's okay. No, they're making an effort to get back in front of their man. They're making an effort to get back in front of their man. Isaiah Hartenstein is not dropping all the way under the basket. At some point, he holds his line like, okay, you can't come any further. And then the weak side guy is actually dropping to Isaiah Hartenstein's man, maybe not coming all the way in front of him, but he's there, making sure that you know he's there and also ready to rotate back to his man. The high guy is ready to rotate to his man. They're playing they're doing what you're supposed to do on defense, and everybody's giving an effort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it is great defense, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, finally, we got a team that takes pride in this. That's not just like, oh, let them have it, we'll just get it on the other end. Right now, they're playing basketball, and I love to see it.
The one thing that I will fault Dallas for, and Ox, you and I had this conversation last night, I thought that them chasing Lou Dort off the long ball line, I thought that was a mistake. I think that closing out on Lou Dort as hard as they didn't have to do that. That's number one. Number two, as a big, I'm not a fan, even as switchable as Derek Lively is, I'm not a fan of bigs being on smalls, especially fives on ones. I saw that yesterday with Milwaukee and KCP. I saw that yesterday with Brook Lopez getting dragged out to the deep end of the pool and KCP looking at him like, I got a bucket of extra crispy in front of me and going right by him. So when I got Lou Dort at the long ball line, I do not have to crowd Lou Dort at the long ball line like he's Steph Curry. I do not have to crowd Lou Dort at the long ball line like he Ray Allen. That's number one. Number two, I don't have to close out on him.
Lou Dort is shooter now.
I am not fighting that, Ron.
I think you're living in the past, Chill. This is going on 2 years of him averaging or shooting 39% from trips and doing it on 5 attempts.
Even if that's true, Ron, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to close out as hard as I do. And the reason why I'm not going to close out as hard as I do, because when I'm closing out one on the tops on the low side, I'm giving him an opportunity to go right to the middle of the floor. And when he goes right to the middle of the floor, he gets to decipher and dissect the defense. As opposed to if I close out on him high and I force him to the baseline and I don't close out on him hard, where I give myself some room that if he tries to go, I can beat him to the baseline. As opposed to I'm closing out on him low. He's coming around right to the middle of the floor. SGA is right there. J-Dub is right there. Hartenstein's at the rim. I don't have to close out on him as hard as Dallas did. I thought they did a poor job at that last night.
I'd rather Lou Dort dissect the floor than shoot a three.
I was thinking that too.
I'll let Lou Dort go inside the 3-point line. Whatever decision he makes, I'll live with the results. More often than not, he'll make a bad decision. He just did all right last night. I think Jason Kidd's not playing the numbers, but playing the probability. Lou Dort's really bad inside the 3-point line. So if you force him inside the 3-point line, you like your chances. Just last night, I think he did a pretty good job. I think everyone on OKC did a pretty good job last night. But over the course of a series, yeah, I'll continue running Lou Dort off the line. I think that's what you got to do with Lou Dort, if I'm being honest. So I understand Jason Kidd's what I believe his thought process was. I don't actually know what it was, but if that's what he was doing, then I understand it.
And once again, shout out to Lou Dort. Just his improvements. I remember watching Lou Dort at Arizona State and just his improvements to get to the point where he's at now. got to salute to him and just everybody over there at OKC, the training staff, coaching staff, whoever it may be that's developing these prospects, finding these prospects. They've done a hell of a job not only of drafting talent, but really cultivating that talent and just making it a better product on the floor. So just got to give them a shout out because
Ron, we got to
though. Top of the West.
We have to, Ron, because if you think about Oklahoma City, this isn't Miami, right? This isn't New York. This isn't Boston. This isn't a major market. We got to get it right in the draft because more times than not, we're not going to get Kevin Durant in free agency. We're not going to get Cat in free agency. Nope, right? So more times than not, we got to get it right in the draft, and we got to get it right in trade. So when we're trading Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso, like this has to work because this kind of stuff could set us back losing draft picks.
They got Isaiah Hartenstein in free agency.
They did get Hartenstein in free agency. And why did they get Hartenstein in free agency? Because they got better.
Well, I thought it's because they gave him $29 million. But
and on top of it, but again, are we since you brought up Hartenstein, Mars, are we equating Hartenstein to Cat? Are we equating Hartenstein to Kevin Durant? I mean, he's a need.
Well, I don't think they needed a superstar. Hartenstein for them is a superstar acquisition. When you acquire the best possible player for the role you need, it doesn't need to be Kevin Durant. It doesn't need to be LeBron James. I'm not saying Isaiah Hartenstein is their LeBron James, but he's a marquee free agency signing because he addresses maybe their one major weakness they had.
Right.
So that's the perfect free agency signing that they could have got. Like Hartenstein, I want to make this abundantly clear. Isaiah Hartenstein is not better than Cat. Isaiah Hartenstein is better for OKC than Cat would be.
Sure.
So yes, in that by that measure of what I'm saying, yes, Isaiah Hartenstein is Cat for them in terms of the value he's providing. That's exactly what he is.
Sure. Now, with everything you said, which is fair, they already have Kevin Durant and SGA, whom they got basically in the draft because they got him in a trade in year one. I mean, they basically handed him over for a bunch of they got him for a bunch of picks. So they had that. So they had to trade correctly for that. Then you get J-Dub in the draft. You get Chet in the draft, right? You get Wiggins in the draft. You get all of these guys in the draft. And if I get Hartenstein, who actually, again, provides a need for us, but he's not Kevin Durant. He's not the big time free agent that everybody talks about. Because I already have that because I built my unit through the draft and I built my unit through trades. It's a lot easier to attract a guy like Hartenstein as opposed to having to attract a guy like, let's say, Jimmy Butler, for example, because it's Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I agree. I've never been to Oklahoma City, but the way you guys talk about it must suck.
I was there in 2009. I haven't been since. I haven't been since, but I was there in 2009 when they had Russ and KD. I went to see them play Cleveland, and outside of Oklahoma City Thunder, there's really not much to do there, Mars.
I was in Oklahoma City when they had Trae Young. Ain't been back since.
Man, what's that now? 6-7 years?
I think Norman's not too far from OKC.
It's right there.
Oh yeah.
20
I ain't going back.
For real.
You straight up?
I ain't going back.
But all right, so is there anything else on this game that anybody else would like to point out or acknowledge?
When Shea's making threes, he looked like the best player in the world.
What the hell? Where did that come from? Mars? That pull up three. I'm like, God, how we gonna stop that?
Lucky for the NBA, he don't make him a whole bunch, but he be shooting them.
Luckily,
he don't make him a whole bunch.
He'll crack it though.
When he's making them, there is not one single answer for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander when he's making threes. But next game, he probably gonna end up going like 2 for 9 or something. But yeah, when Shai making threes, good luck. I wouldn't want to guard him. He's ridiculous. But yeah, I think we have to speak about Shai. So that's why I brought that up because
he knows that though. That's why he's shooting them threes. He know like if. He like Giannis. You know how Giannis shoot that first three and it'll be like, all right, I'm not shooting no more threes today. But if I make this three, good luck.
SGA ain't playing though. Like SGA will miss one and then he's like, I'm still shooting it.
Shai shooting because he knows they're gonna win regardless. Like Shai ain't worried about his team losing. Like he can get up 9 threes and they still gonna win because they're just better than everyone. So he out here shooting 12 threes, 10 threes, 9 threes, 8 threes. Yeah. If he gets to a point where by the end of the season he's in a rhythm and he's comfortable. And we have a Shai in the postseason who's shooting the 3 at a good clip.
Yeah.
Woo.
What would Shai have to do to win MVP?
Keep doing what you're doing.
Get the narrative on his side. If enough people are bought into the we're not giving an MVP to a 6, 7, 8 seed, whatever, Shea will be the primary candidate. He'll be above Donovan Mitchell. It'll be Shea and Jason Tatum, unless Milwaukee keep winning. If Milwaukee keep winning, Shea's cooked. But if Milwaukee stay around the 5, 6 seeds, if enough people buy into the narrative of you have to be a top 1 or 2 seed, it'll be between Shea and Tatum, and then it'll just be who played better between those two. So that's what he has to do. Just hope the narrative either stays on his side or gets on his side, whichever one you deem it to be.
The thing with SGA, I think he got an uphill battle to get MVP. Not saying he's not deserving of it. I just think he got an uphill battle. I think more people, are leaning towards that, like Jason Tatum, and obviously they want to give it to Jokic or Giannis, but those guys got to keep winning basketball games. And so, like what Mars said, I think, or what you said, if he keeps doing what he's doing, and to Mars's point, if those other teams don't get a top 3 seed, it's going to be hard not to give it to the kid, though.
He's so tough.
I think all they got to do is come in the number 1 seed, and I think he's in the driver's seat.
Not if Giannis is a 1 or 2 seed over there.
I mean,
Ron, they was the number 1 seed last year. Ron, they were the number 1 seed last year.
Yeah, but they had the same amount of wins as Denver, so it wasn't really a number 1 seed for.
Yeah,
it was like, you're the number 1 seed, but we have the same amount of wins. So, like, if Jokic played better than you and you have the same amount of wins, yeah, we're gonna give Jokic the MVP. But if like Denver had 53 wins and they had 57, maybe Shea would have won. But when they have the same amount of wins, it's like, meh.
And what are these boys on pace to win this year? 60, 64, 65.
Especially if they're winning all these games with Chet Holmgren not in the lineup, that's definitely going to boost his narrative.
65.
Come on, man. They win 65 games. Shea's back around the 30-point mark. And also, you got to understand, games like this boost your MVP narrative, like kind of how Mars was saying. I clipped Luka and outplayed him on a big stage.
Outplay him badly.
Come on. It's like.
And if he goes on to win the in-season tournament.
Yeah, chill out, man. That ain't happening, man. That ain't happening.
Hey, you heard what he just said? Go on to win the in-season tournament. Here we go. I'm telling y'all. Wait until and don't forget. Not only win the in-season tournament, I want you to compound that with him winning the MVP of the tournament, which is something that years later we're going to talk about. Shea got 2 in-season tournament MVPs. Just so you know,
Shea has a shot at winning 5 MVPs this season. He can win in-season tournament MVP, All-Star MVP, regular season MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, and Finals MVP. He won 5 MVPs in a season.
Now that's what we need. We need that kind of sweep. We need that from somebody.
I want someone to win 5 MVPs in a season. That's what I want.
No, and defensive player of the year. I think only Giannis.
Oh yeah. I think if someone can win 5 MVPs,
Wemby might be able to do that.
Defensive player of the year.
Wemby might be able to do that.
Wemby's
but I'm talking about soon. This team's not good enough for them to get to the finals and all that yet. So that's why I said I think only Giannis got access something like that right now. Hey, but before we do move on to the next game or to whatever you have, Ron, I do want to say, when is Luka gonna get out of Najee's way?
Huh?
Najee been hooping, man.
I mean, like, when is Luka gonna finally just get out of Najee's way? Like, yo, you got the keys, man.
I beg your pardon. Luka get out of Najee's way, or Najee get out of Luka's way?
Yes,
I think Oak said it right the first time.
You heard me right.
He kept him in the game last night too. If we're being honest.
Oh, you've been nice, man.
He kept him in the game.
That was a huge pickup for Dallas.
Yes. Nobody was talking about that in free agency. I thought that was a big deal. He kept them in the game last night. He had that one move where he went down the gut and he bumped J-Dub. I did like that. Got him off of him and shot it with the strong hand. He's been huge for them. Get Klay Thompson off the floor, Mars. I can't handle it. Get Klay.
You hating on my guy, Klay.
I thought he played well last night.
Get Klay Thompson.
Yeah, that's because you don't have much standards for him. But shots claiming.
It's not 2016 anymore.
It's not 2018 either. It's not 2019 either. No, it is not.
I don't think he played.
I don't think he played
terrible. I don't think he played terrible.
No, I think offensively he did about as much as you could expect from Klay. He made a floater. That was cool. Defensively, oh god. But
it's probably because I expect every time Klay to shoot, it goes in. That's probably what it is.
I stopped expecting that a long time.
Yeah, that's probably what my problem is. Like, because he's been such a good shooter for such a long time that when he's got wide open looks, I expect every last one of them to go in every time he shoots the ball, and they don't. And like when he goes, 4 for 12, I'm like, he's washed, he's over. When in reality, he shot really good. I'm like, get Klay off the floor. I'm probably being a
a
little unfair to Clay. I think I am.
A little bit.
I probably am.
He's definitely washed, but I do think last night he did Klay Thompson things, made threes, made a bunch of threes, took some bad shots, didn't really pass the ball for real, and then played egregious defense. Yeah. That's kind of what Klay's been the last 2-3 years. So it's like he was Klay last night.
For the record, Ron, it was a stretch, but I forgot Irv was on the floor. I did.
The stretch was the whole game.
Nah, when he made them 2 corner threes, he made them 2 corner threes. Like they cut the lead to like 8.
Yeah,
that was Kyrie right there.
And then OKC went on a 9-0 run.
Yeah, Shea came back in the game
immediately. Ron, like immediately.
It was Shea comes out. Okay, Dallas going like a 10-0 run, something like that. Shea come back in the game, 9-0 run, game over. I was like, oh, okay, great, good work. But if PJ Washington played, Dallas would have won the game. So.
OKC, man, changes everything.
I think every team has somebody that got their number. I don't know what it is about OKC, but PJ Washington looking at them like, oh, y'all think I'm food out here. Okay, let's get to the bottom of that. Let's fix that right now. Because I'm not.
Decided he want to turn into prime Bruce Bowen when he plays.
That's because they leave him wide open, Mars. Y'all think I'm the liability out here? Are y'all saying that? That's what y'all think. Y'all think that you're gonna leave me wide open in order.
Yes, that's what I think. Yes.
And, okay, so how'd that work, Mars?
He got lucky.
It didn't.
Dallas, that series last year was definitely an outlier series for PJ Washington.
That man was shooting 24% from the corners. And then
I sent some hate on PJ Washington.
I'm not hating. I'm just it's an outlier. I can't count on that to happen again.
I sent some hate on PJ Washington.
I don't know. He got busy the last time. Didn't they just play them not too long ago? And he got busy against them.
He did.
Yes. But this year PJ's improved. PJ posting up this year. Like PJ, like he's actually like an offensive, not weapon, but he's like an extra weapon offensively. Last year it was strictly just corner threes, and he just wouldn't miss. This year he can do a little bit more, but still the corner threes, I'm still gonna leave him. He's gonna miss him at some point. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not believing in a 20% corner 3-point shooter to beat me in a series. Like, I'm living with that.
He just did it though, Mars. That's the problem.
He got lucky. It was 6 games, small sample. He got lucky. He's not doing it again.
Yeah.
He's not doing it again. There's no way he does it again. If he does it again, then he's not doing it next year. At some point, he's gonna miss.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next game. Before we do that, y'all know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to Player's Choice, send through super chats, and chat. Y'all just keep being the GOATs that you guys are. Shout out to our Hall of Famers. My man KT, he was on playback with us last night. We had a good old time on playback. I appreciate you for pulling up, KT, and doing what Hall of Famers typically do. And that's
who was we?
What you mean who's we?
You wasn't there.
I can tell you who we is, Ox. It's me, you. It was me, you, Gifted, and K Dot. That's who we are. Not this dude. No.
I was in the chat occasionally. I was there.
And Gifted was SGA up there last night.
No doubt.
But also shout out Hunt Gilgores. Shout out Multi Kenny. He was in the chat last night. Big shout out to Multi Kenny and Cobra Sunner. Salute to the Hall of Famers. I got a super chat before we get to this next game. It's from my man Amath Ashraf. Hope I'm not butchering your name, but appreciate you for sending through the super chat. He said AJ Green, Derry Bird, best white shooter in the league. Ajax, best lockdown defender. Bobby Portis, trade value is up. Hold on, we're not trading Bobby. But anyways, Bobby Portis' trade value is up. Chris Middleton, playmaking is so underrated. Giannis, MV3, Bucks in 6, always.
Ain't AJ Green able 2 threes last night?
And not only that,
shoot good last night.
Is he a better shooter than Grayson Allen?
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Grayson Allen do a little bit too much more than shooting. AJ Green knows his role. Go to that 3-point line, do nothing but shoot. Grayson Allen be trying to be an all-around player and stuff.
And then when you put it that way, Chill, if Grayson Allen's a better shooter than AJ Green, that means AJ Green must be a bad shooter.
Yeah, he can't shoot. Right. No, he can't shoot.
Got it. Okay. Makes sense now. What the hell Jalen Suggs thinking about last night?
This box is never getting.
He had 50. He was trying to get to a bucket. What are you hating on?
Mars,
somebody had to do it. But right quick before we get into that,
my bad. Go ahead.
The Milwaukee Bucks squeaked, and I mean squeaked by the Orlando Magic, depleted Orlando Magic team at that, 114-109. This was in large part due to Giannis Antetokounmpo doing Giannis Antetokounmpo things. He had 37 points, 7 rebounds, 4 blocks, 2 steals. Damian Lillard came up pretty big in the fourth quarter. He had 28 points and 9 assists. And Bobby Portis, doing six-man things, came off the bench and had 22 points, 10 rebounds. He had a hell of a shooting night, and he was balling. Chris Middleton didn't score last night, which we'll get into that in a second, Chris. But he didn't score, but he had 8 assists and 3 steals. And then on the other end, Jalen Suggs, he did his best to carry the offensive load for the Orlando Magic. He had 32 points, 9 rebounds, only had 1 assist, but had 4 steals as well. And the Magic came through with the team effort and almost clipped the Bucks. Fellas, talk to me about this game. Spiller, I want you to kick things off, though. What did you see in this game?
I want to focus on the Orlando Magic because I'm very intrigued by this team and what they've been doing this season. I think that this is a very good team that has one just huge glaring flaw, and that's the fact that they cannot shoot. But other than that, I mean, this whole team, this whole season for the Orlando Magic has just been next man up. Paolo's playing amazing to start the season, then he gets hurt. Franz Wagner ends up playing amazing for the games that he played. You think he's like number 1 right now for most improved player. And then Jalen Suggs, this game played amazing, had 32 points. I think in the middle of the game in the third quarter, he came out for a little bit because he hurt his finger or something. Then Anthony Black started getting some possessions. And I just think that this team is definitely a team that's probably a couple trades away from being a team that I could see maybe even beating Boston in a series. As of right now, I just don't trust that their ability to shoot in a playoff series for sure when, games get slower, like the matchups start mattering more in the playoffs and things of that nature. But the Orlando Magic are a really, really good team, great on defense. They're just dealing with a bunch of different injuries from Jonathan Isaac. Gary Harris was out, and he's I think he's their best shooter on them. For the Milwaukee Bucks, they are actually playing really good for the past couple of games. I do think that this run that they're on is definitely a little fraudulent. Their last couple of games, they've been beating the Pacers, the Chicago Bulls. Their only 2 losses came to the Boston Celtics and the Atlanta Hawks. And I don't really know how I feel about this team. I don't really believe in this run. I think Giannis is playing amazing. I think he can win MVP if the Bucks start winning more games. But I want to see them play against healthy, actually top-tier teams, not the Orlando Magic, who are missing Paulo and Franz Wagner. I don't really believe it.
We can only play who's in front of us.
Of course. And y'all got to win the games that, you're supposed to win. That's a sign of a good team. But I don't really know how much I can put stock into the last 10 games and y'all are beating the Hornets. I don't know.
You think the Knicks are a good team?
I think the Knicks are a good team.
Wait till Saturday then.
The Hawks are beating them.
I got him, but if I would have asked him is the Hawks a good team, he would have said no because he just said what he said about the Hawks.
Okay.
I don't believe in the Hawks at all.
See?
Haters gonna hate.
But
you're a Hawks fan, Mark?
No.
But you trade FC, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Big Ox, what were you saying about Jalen Suggs?
To play, to carry a lot of the offensive load like that, like he did last night, and for his team to play out of their mind. Anthony Black played really good. My man Mo came through and did his thing. The big fella had a great game. I mean, all around for them to even be in that game without Franz, their best player, and without Paolo, you know what I'm saying? And then to just waste it like that at the end of the game, it's terrible. I hate to see things like that. I mean, you standing there looking at the guy dribbling between your legs like you think you Paul Pierce or something, and to pull up for 3 down 1 after just a second ago you made a great move. You made a great move in mid-range pull up, bang, hit that. You know what I'm saying? You could have got such a better look than that. You shoot that stupid shot, 12 seconds left on the clock. And mind you, it's a stupid shot to me. It's a stupid shot to me. Might not be a stupid shot to everybody else. Obviously,
that was a bad shot. You don't even got to do that. That was
right. But I'm just saying it's this isn't. I'm not just saying that it's a bad shot because I say so. I just think it's a bad shot. I think he could have got a better look than that. On top of that, I know Jalen Suggs isn't ducking the fade on the other end, so that's why I'm like, Because at first I tried to think maybe he didn't want to go get the 2 because he's like, oh, then I have to play defense and they could get 1. But I'm like, nah, Jalen Suggs don't got no problem locking up on defense. So what are you thinking right now? It's a semi-contested shot. I guess your hand hurt or something already anyway. I think you could have got a better look than that. I think you wasted a great effort from your team. I think that would have been a great win for them. And I think you could have done a better job at that crunch time. I just think that was a terrible look. And I really don't know what else to say about it. Like they could have there was plenty of time on the clock. We're talking about 13 seconds. And 13 seconds in basketball, that's a lifetime. You know what I mean? Like,
it is.
Yes,
it is.
You could have done so much better than that. And the reason it is so upsetting, and the reason I think I am taking them overboard is because they played so good that game in a game that they shouldn't have been in. You know what I mean? You don't got Franz, you don't got Jonathan Isaac, you don't got Paolo.
Right.
All three of those guys you're missing. I think Anthony Black played great last night. And I'm just saying I feel like as the leader of the team, because that's what you are right now, Jalen, you're the leader. For you to go out like that, I just think they could have done it much better. I think he could have done much better. And that's really all there is to say about that.
So I want to start by saying at the end of the season, when Damian Lillard is an all-pro again, I'll be real interested to hear what the narrative on Damian Lillard is, because last year he was washed. He didn't really get an opportunity to get filled in with Milwaukee. It was just the transition of what he was going through. And now this year, he's playing at an all-pro level. I think he's going to make the all-pro team this year. I thought he was great last night. I thought he did a good job in that's not just dissecting the defense, but getting into the teeth of the defense. I like the fact that Damian Lillard takes advantage of mismatches. I really like that. And on top of that, I like the fact that he goes after his primary defender. So Jalen Suggs standing in front of him, he went after Jalen Suggs as much as he possibly could. And he didn't do it shooting bad shots. That's number one. Number two, he got guys involved in the game that he needed to get involved in the game. And I really like that about Damian Lillard. He could have done a better job in taking care of the basketball. I won't argue that. Definitely could have done a better job in taking care of the basketball. But overall, I'm loving what Damian Lillard is doing for this crew. I'm digging Giannis's get back last night because he got punched on. So he said, "Okay, I'll fix that." And he ended up getting the big fella back for that. And Mars, you're gonna stop talking about Bobby Portis like that. You're gonna start putting some respect on Bobby Portis' name. That's what you're gonna start doing, Mars. You're gonna start talking about Bobby Portis and start putting some respect on the dirty work guy's name. I can appreciate the fact that he can get a little tricky with his shot. I can appreciate that. And his game is one of those games where once that one shot goes in, all the other stuff just compounds it, right? Because once he makes that one shot, then all of a sudden he'll make another one. Then he'll start getting on the glass more. Then that energy just filters throughout the course of the crew. And I love that about him. But when he's not making that shot, he still brings energy, but it's not the same. So last night he looked really good. He looked really good. His shot was falling. He was on the glass. He was playing defense. And that's who he is. He's a rotation guy. He's always been a rotation guy. He'll always be a rotation guy. So, Mars, you're going to put some respect on Bobby Portis.
Are they still Fool's Gold, you? The chat wants to know.
100%.
Okay.
Yes, they are. Because I'm still seeing Brook Lopez 26 feet away from the basket on KCP. I'm still seeing Damian Lillard switching on to bigs. I'm still seeing that. And there's no communication. The difference between Oklahoma City's defense and Milwaukee's defense is like night and day. It's not even close to the same thing. Just from a communication
that's with
standpoint.
everybody.
It ain't even close to the same.
Oklahoma City we just had an episode, they got a historic defense.
Which, by the way,
so everybody else is Fool's Gold then. Dallas is Fool's Gold.
Which, by the way, I wanted to ask you the question, Ron. Because they have an historic defense, why isn't anybody on Oklahoma City up for Defensive Player of the Year?
Somebody is. He's just hurt.
No, yeah, it would have been Chet, but because no one else is of that level defensively. It's just a bunch of great defenders. It's not one elite crazy defender. It's just a bunch of really, really, really good ones. So it's
Lou
more
Dort?
like, what about him?
Is Lou Dort an elite defender?
Yeah, I said there's a bunch of I think most of them are elite, but none of them are Wemby, none of them are Evan Mobley, none of them are Draymond Green, none of them are
sure.
Yeah, so that's why no one's gonna win it. If one of them won it would be like Marcus Smart's Defensive Player of the Year, where it was the best defensive team, and Marcus Smart was their second best defender, but Robert Williams got hurt. So then you give Marcus Smart a defensive player of the year. I don't think they're going to do that again. So that's why no one on OKC is going to win it. Not saying none of them are great defenders. I'm saying all of them are so great that none of them particularly stands out and is better than the rest, if that makes sense.
Right.
But it would have been Chet. I think Chet probably would. I'm not saying he would have run away with it because Wemby got a lot of PR, but I think Chet would have won it if he stayed healthy.
Wow. That Orlando Magic team yesterday, Ron, I mean, to score 13 points in the third quarter, I think that kind of threw a monkey wrench in what they were trying to do. I think they were climbing uphill after that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I do got to give Orlando credit for, kind of similar to what I was saying about OKC.
Yeah,
but it's surprising to me how they keep finding a way to get it done. And remember, I was saying this yesterday. Remember, I asked you guys. I said, "Would you guys be surprised if this was a dogfight?" Because I knew that for some reason, I knew we weren't just going to come out and just mollywop it. I knew they were going to make a game of it. I knew they were going to try to, I guess, dirty things up. I knew they were going to be tough defensively, and I knew they were just going to find ways to score. And that's what they did. Now, did I expect Jalen Suggs to have the offensive night he had? No. Right. But I knew somebody was going to do it. Anthony Black, huge game from Anthony Black. He played 32 minutes, had 17 points, didn't make a three, but he just was getting it done.
I'm in the minority, Ron.
Jet Howard came and had 10 points in 12 minutes. He hit a bunch of big threes. But why are you in the minority?
I'm in the minority, Ox. Remember what I said about James Harden and Maxey? I feel the same way about Anthony Black. I want to give him the ball. I do. I want to give him the basketball, and I want him to run my crew. I feel like he's the future at the lead guard spot in Orlando. I want to give him the basketball, just like I gave the ball to Maxey, and I want him to run my crew. I feel like at 6'6", 6'7", as good as Jalen Suggs is, I don't want to lose Jalen Suggs as a defender. So could I move Jalen Suggs to the 2, but I don't get the shooter that I need over there, but I still get the defense. I feel like Anthony Black, I get a downhill guy. I get a guy who finishes at the rim. I feel like I get a better distributor. I feel like I get a more versatile guy. I'm going to lose a lot of defense from Anthony Black. I did not know that Jalen Suggs was that good as a defender. I don't know how good Anthony Black could be as a defender. But
they
I feel
look
like
good
Anthony,
together though. Still, you don't got to move SGA. I mean, not SGA. I'm sorry. You don't got to move Suggs. Like their minutes together was solid. In
that's what I'm saying.
I think Anthony Black's a good defender.
Yeah, he is. I like Anthony Black as a defender.
I just don't want what I don't want to do is I don't want to lose Jalen Suggs. So if I move him to the 2, I'm not going to get the shooter that I want, but I still get the defender that I want. And does he have to necessarily be a knockdown shooter? I don't think he has to be, but he's got to be a respectable shooter. And I think that's good enough. I want to get a ball to Anthony Black and let him run the crew.
I mean, sure, that's what they drafted him for.
That's exactly why they drafted him, for that reason right there.
I like him. I like Anthony Black. I would like to play both of them together.
Yep.
Yeah, but definitely shout out to the Magic. They had a lot of guys come in and that have been getting it done. I mean, this is going on their second game without Franz, and they've looked good both games. They won their last game, and then obviously they lost last night. But
yeah,
hey man,
and it's interesting too.
I don't know how, but they're able to make it happen.
And it's interesting too, Ron, because I wasn't high on Anthony Black coming out of college. I was not high on him coming out of college. I thought that he wasn't ready because I had seen, I forgot the kid's name that went to Alabama, that he was a high draft pick and it didn't really work
Josh
out.
Freeman.
That's him, Mars. Him coming in. He was like the 8th or the 9th pick. And then I see Anthony Black. Yeah. He was like the 8th or 9th.
They had a few different
crazy
picks.
pull.
Yeah,
they had Kyra Lewis too.
Crazy pull.
And then Anthony Black, who he played a lot at Arkansas, but I'm looking at his game and I'm like, is he ready? Is he not ready? But the more I watch him in Orlando, I'm thinking to myself, I want to give him the ball. I do. I want to give him the ball and I want him to be my lead guard. And I don't want to waste any more time with him. I do.
Yeah. Is there anything else in this game that stood out for you guys?
Necessarily.
We might have to start talking about Doc a little bit more in a good way.
Darvin Ham, undefeated in season tournament.
We may have to. I ain't saying that, okay, the coach of the year over here is Doc Rivers. I ain't saying that. But I mean, I do see the effort on defense. I do see the effort on defense, and I do see how much better these guys are competing. And I think that that's largely due to Doc. Now, don't get me wrong, Mars. Don't get me wrong, Ox. When you throw yourself in the hole, is it? Should I be praising you for getting yourself out of the hole? I mean, you did light the house on fire. I shouldn't praise you for putting the fire out. You did do that.
Chill. It's like nobody wants to hear it, Chill. They want to blame Doc because if they don't blame Doc, then they got to hold Ben Simmons and Joel accountable. They got to hold Paul George accountable, and that's just too much for them to do.
Everyone holds Ben Simmons accountable.
You know, it's
that's
they
not
can't. They got to blame Doc
yes.
for everything.
Yes, Ben Simmons gets blamed more than anyone for that Philly failure in 21. More than anyone. Joel, not so much, but Ben Simmons, yes.
Yeah, one thing Doc got to stop doing is going to that trash ass zone. I'm talking about that zone is.
They don't talk, Ron. That's the problem. The zone actually works if they talk. They don't know where they're supposed to be. They're not rotating. It's just look like they standing there. When you play a matchup zone, that's your job. Okay, I'm on the left wing. I'm matching up with whoever over here. Once he moves over, Ox, 22, you got him. Now he's over there with you. These dudes don't talk. They just standing there, and then they'll move to the left. Damian Lillard will move to the left a little bit. Then he'll move to the right a little bit. And then he might close out a little bit at the long ball line. I think the biggest problem with that zone is they don't talk. They don't talk nearly as much as they should. They don't.
Yeah, I'd rather dudes get fried one-on-one than to have 5 dudes just standing around.
Yeah.
It's literally Dame up top doing Dame things. Giannis his mobility in that zone is terrible. If you get him going one way, he just can't get back the other way. Bobby Portis is Bobby. As a matter of fact, it might as well be 2 Bobby Portises out there because Giannis turns into Bobby Portis in that zone. And Brook Lopez, I love you, Brook, and you try. But it's nothing Brook can do. Once they get the ball to the middle of that zone and Brook has to rotate up to the high post, it's a free lob on the back end or a free dump down or a free corner 3. And it's just that zone is bad. It is bad. And that's really the reason why in the first half, the Magic got up to that big lead. Because they were just feasting on that zone, getting whatever they wanted to. And then obviously, we made our adjustments and we was able to, keep the game in close contention. And then the third quarter came around and they made some adjustments. But he got to get that zone out the playbook. Otherwise.
I like that zone that Orlando runs, though. It looks kind of like a 1-3-1. Kind of, I like that little zone they be running. And then it's a lot of talking on the back end and they match up depending on who's in the middle. They'll take the big so I can't remember who it was last year or last night. You could hear them talking from the mics and they was just yelling like, "No, we switch, you go." They was talking a lot. I like that little zone Orlando put in yesterday. They were running yesterday. I mean, I like it.
Speaking of zones, I'm in my zone right now. And this is partially due to me downloading the PrizePicks app, using Code Panel, and getting in on the action that allows me to run my game. Yes, y'all, the NBA season is in full swing, and there's endless ways to play with my favorite players on PrizePicks. With the season just tipping off, that means that you have an opportunity to pick not only your favorite players, but your favorite teams and your favorite matchups and make it extremely thrilling. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even worry about it. Just follow what we do here on the panel. All you got to do is download the PrizePicks app, use code the panel. New customers will instantly receive $50 when you just put $5 into the app. That's a nice little welcome bonus, right? And with PrizePicks, there's a few more promos that you guys should keep your eyes out for and go all in on. The first promos is the 1,000 times payout. Yes, 1,000. It's a game changer. I'm telling y'all, it's a game changer. With your lineups at PrizePicks, you now have the ability to win 1,000 times your money, the highest payout ever offered at PrizePicks. Don't worry, I'll show you guys here in a second. They also have new power plays. You could play 2, you could play 3, or you could pick 4 powers. But now you can get 6 player projections involved live on the board right now. Oh yeah, and Merry Picksmas. December means it's the season of giving, and we all know the best way to celebrate it is here at PrizePicks. Picksmas. I'm going to show you guys exactly what the Picksmas is right now when you guys get the greater than host pick of the day right here. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Ox, Can you go to NFL? This is the Mary Pixmas, y'all. All month,
Gotcha.
they're basically throwing you a wide open layup by giving you a pick like this Patrick Mahomes pick, where all he has to do is throw for 1 yard. Basically, all you're saying is Patrick Mahomes has to snap the ball one time. So, Ox, go ahead and pick that. There we go. There we go. And that's going to start out all of our contests for the whole month of December. We will always go with the pick miss, as you guys should as well. Puka Nacua, one rusher. All right. We'll get to that on Friday. But let's get back to the NBA. Let's go ahead and jump into it, y'all. Yesterday was very unfulfilling, but today we will bounce back and we will be victorious. Oh, and by the way, this is what our records are looking like as of right now. Chill, you are 1-3. Ox,
Garbage.
you are 0-4.
Trash.
Mars, you are 1-3. And Ron,
Garbage.
you are 2-2. We all have to step our game up.
I
And we
don't
will
gotta
do
step.
that.
I don't gotta step my game up. They gotta step their game up. I'm telling you.
Facts. I'm trying to believe in these players and they selling me. My bad for believing in the quote unquote best player in the world to make a three. My bad.
Yeah.
Like, nah,
Yeah, I'm
they
putting
the one
my
letting
faith
down the
in them.
team.
Here I am putting my rent money on Franz on Mo to get 2 assists. He kicks the ball to Wendell Carter. He air balls for a corner 3.
Garbage.
Hey, when that happened, I knew our night was over. I just knew it was over. And then Giannis airballed the 3. I knew it was a wrap.
You know what? You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start getting in these DMs.
Oh god, oh god. I told you Kyrie or Luka would get a block there. I told you that. It wasn't Luka, but it was Kyrie. I told you one of them was gonna get a block. I knew it. I felt it. Felt the spidey
All right,
sense.
scroll down.
Gotcha.
I'm liking that Draymond, but I think we can get a little more festive than that. Ox,
What you want to
thank
do?
you. Thank you. Keep going.
If you
Whoa,
don't take Trae
who is
Young, you're a
that?
fraud. Yeah, if you don't
Who
take
is
Trae
that?
Young,
Go
you're a fraud.
down. Keep going. As a matter of fact, just go. Go up.
Go up. Okay.
Yeah.
Scared, man.
And
Go
just
Trae
type
Young.
in TRAE.
Trey bag. Moneyball.
Forever young. I wanna be. All right, so click. You see where it's rotating. You see a demon and you see a goblin. Can you click that on Trey? 21 points.
21. Okay.
Yeah, but hold on, no.
Got
It's like no. Click on the goblin right there. Yeah.
So you want the goblin bet or you want
Nah.
the demon bet?
I'm on demon time, and so is Trey. Click on that demon. No. Yeah. Right there. It's the New York Knicks.
Right here.
No.
You sure?
Nah, we.
Bro, make up
Ron
your
is
mind, bro. What you doing?
No. Here's the thing.
Ron is
No,
so
here's the thing.
boring,
No.
I
Here's the thing, y'all. We've been doing a little too much, and I'm just trying to take my wins as I can get them. So just go to the regular one. Get off the demon. Just go to the regular one. 21 points.
Okay.
Yeah, that's come on, y'all. Why even play? Why even play?
I think he should get about 24, 25 tonight.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Ron. You
should
might
go
be
to
the most
PRA.
boring person I ever met.
I should go to PRA, but now we're just gonna go 21. We gonna take our wins as we could get them.
Okay, no doubt.
Thank you, Big Ox.
No problem, fam. Mars, what you want to do?
Jalen Green
who's
less.
next, Jill?
Jalen Green less.
Do you know how many?
We're playing the Warriors. I know Jalen Green. Less
19 points?
Less,
Come
less,
on, Mars.
less.
Go less on the PRA.
Go less on whatever you want. It's gonna be less. It doesn't make a difference.
All right, Mars, it's your pick. It's your pick.
If you want to go PRA, go PRA.
All right, it's
Mars,
your
it's your
pick,
pick,
Mars.
Mars. What you want to do?
Does it make a difference? Does it make a difference for the prize? Whichever one I pick.
I don't
think
know.
so.
It doesn't. It
Let's
doesn't.
see.
All right.
Okay.
Then we'll go. We'll go less on PRA. Why not? We'll go less on PRA.
Okay.
No, but when Jalen's playing trash, he be trying to get some uncontested rebounds. Go less on the points. Go less on the points.
Okay, 1 second. I got
Because he gonna stat pad himself to like 7 rebounds, and then he might.
Chill.
I like that Draymond that I saw. 12
That-
points,
Yeah,
12 rebounds and assists.
Sure,
Damn,
gimme.
that's shit. That believe it or not, that's the one I was actually gonna take. I was
That's
actually
not
gonna go
a
with
gimme.
Draymond.
How's that a gimme?
Yeah.
This what you want, Chill?
Yes.
I don't think that's a gimme. I think it's
Why not?
I don't think it's a gimme
I
neither,
just
Mars.
don't
That's
think
why I'm
it's. I
going
don't
with
think
it.
it's easy. I
Yeah.
don't think it's guaranteed. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's guaranteed.
Hold on, let me see. How many rebounds and assists does Draymond average this year? He averages 6 rebounds, 6 assists.
And Houston,
Draymond
are
gonna be on that glass. tonight.
Houston are the best team in the league at denying assists. Like we give up the least amount of assists in the NBA. So
But that's Draymond though.
I'm taking it.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that action.
That's Draymond.
All right, okay, cool. We're gonna get him ejected in like the second quarter. You're gonna be sick.
That's not happening tonight, boss. No.
All right, watch him punch someone. You know how Draymond be.
All right, y'all. Give me a second because that was the pick I was gonna take. I had my mindset on that, so now I gotta.
OG Anunoby.
That's where I'm going.
I was about to say, where your man OG at, Ox?
See me and Ox do this and we have fun. Ronald be out here try hard and
Yeah, man, y'all tripping.
Right.
Oh, 2.5 assists. That's easy for OG.
I'm trying hard to get some money.
yeah. What the hell?
Come on, I thought OG got a burner. Take them
2.5 assists.
You not gonna go rebounds again?
Nah, 2.5 assists. That's easy for OG.
How many he have?
Because he does everything, Mars.
Oh, you're right. I don't even need to check. I know he averaging 12 assists.
He averages 2. So
close enough.
Ox is gonna be 1 of 4 tomorrow, and we'll just have to deal with it.
Okay, so this is what we got right here.
Could you imagine if Patrick Mahomes is the one who sells this?
That would be hilarious, bro.
I'll be sick.
All right, Shaw, this is what we're looking at. We got Patty Mahomes, a nice little cherry on top. All he has to do is throw for 1 yard. And then we got Trae Young, 21 points. He's going more than that tonight. Jalen Green, 19 points. He's going less than that tonight, courtesy of Mars. Draymond Green, 12 rebounds and assists combined. He'll be going more on that tonight, courtesy of Chilltown Hoops. And then OG Anunoby, 2.5 assists, a demon pick. He will be going more than that. And we will turn 20 into 320. Easy as you can say. Give me that deal.
I think this is the best one we put together.
Let's do it.
Submit, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We do something crazy.
Good work, guys. I think that's the best one we've done. Let's just hope Pat Mahomes doesn't sell.
Please don't sell us, Patty.
Bang,
I need him
bang.
to lock in. I need him to lock in.
That's what we on tonight, y'all. Sign, seal, and deliver it. In the meantime, y'all, we got a couple super chats, so let's go ahead and make this happen right here, right now. Carlos Hernandez sent through a super chat. He said the Mavs will be fine. They didn't have PJ. We have Najee who adds a lot and more ball handlers. The Mavs will focus on Chet, SGA, and J-Dub and make everyone else beat.
If only it was that simple. You just
Facts.
I don't know why teams don't do that. Just triple team the best player and then just make the worst player shoot all game. If it was that simple, I don't know why no one's figured that out. It's crazy. Interesting.
Drink More Water said, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I think Middleton should embrace a 6-man role either this year or definitely next year. We lack a bench player, and I also think it will preserve Chris Moore.
Preserve him more? I don't think it's going to preserve him more because there's plenty of rotation guys that play starter minutes, and you're going to need him to play late in games, considering the playmaker that he is. So it's not like he's coming off the bench and playing like 15 minutes. No, that's not what's going to happen. So whether he comes off the bench or whether he plays, he's got bad wheels. That's the problem. He's got bad wheels, and there's really nothing that you can do about it. Whether he plays as a 6-man or whether he's a starter, he's got bad wheels. So it's just a matter of time before he breaks down.
I've always been on Ox's side on that. Just it doesn't matter. I don't care who starts. Like Chris Middleton's gonna finish games. So if he's a 6th man because he comes off the bench because you're gonna start Andre Jackson, then sure, I guess. But I can guarantee you he's gonna play more minutes than Andre Jackson. So sure, I guess. But when Chris Middleton's back and no longer on a minutes restriction, he's gonna be playing 28 minutes anyway. So if that's him off the bench or him starting, it's 28 minutes. So I don't care, to be honest.
But we got Bobby Portis coming off the bench.
And then have him.
We got our 6-man.
Shout out to
It's
Bubby,
just
man.
like it's just like when the Clippers had Trez and Luke coming off the bench together. You can have two.
Hey, but shout
Jordan
out.
Clarkson and Joe Ingles in Utah.
The question is how comfortable would Middleton be being a rotation guy? Is he good with that?
He's coming off the bench right now. He doesn't seem to
question.
be complaining.
I think Chris Middleton's a baller. So I don't think he cares. I think
he is too.
He gonna get his minutes. You know what I'm saying? Just like how Mars was saying. As long as it doesn't turn into him coming off the bench playing 9 minutes, but he's gonna come off the bench and he's gonna play. He's gonna play important minutes. He's gonna be impactful. And I think he can understand that I don't got time to be sensitive about whether I start the game or don't. We got to do what's best for the team, better for the young fellas, what's gonna help us win. And shout out to Chris Middleton. I think he's a baller. I don't think he's gonna be soft about it.
Yeah, he was balling last night, and he's definitely. I mean, I've spoken this multiple times, and I'm assuming everybody knew this, but he's a big addition getting him back in that lineup. He was clearly and easily the best distributor on the floor last night. Came and got 7 assists. You've seen him and Giannis. Their chemistry is just. I mean, you could tell they've been playing with each other forever. So
but Ron.
What's up?
You talking about he was balling? He sold one of my parlays that broke ankle.
Oh, here we go.
That broke ankle bum.
Damn. I'm sorry to hear that, Big Ox.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Next time, take the Chris Middleton more assist on PrizePicks.
Yeah, I think it was like 3.5. That was.
I told you he's averaging 5.5.
Yeah, they sleeping on Chris. That's what it is. They sleeping on him right now.
But all right, y'all, we got another members chat from Alan L. He's been around for 17 months, and he's just that annoying neighbor that you're like, man, is he ever gonna move off the block? I'm messing with you, Alan. Shout out to Alan. I know you're not happy right now. He sent through this members chat and he said, "I'm so sick."
I mean, Luka ain't even got slandered today. I think we've done a good job. We ain't slandered Luka once yet. So we're an hour and 5 minutes in, and Luka has not been destroyed. We haven't said that he's not a top 25 player in the NBA.
Mars, when you play like that, we don't need to slander you. Everybody saw. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to add insult to injury. You know, there's no reason to add insult to injury. We saw that mess.
Shout out to Luka, man.
YSN Money sent through a members chat. He's been here for 20 months. He said SGA slips green always. I don't care what the numbers say. SGA is a lock. Shout out the panel. Ron, you an MF legend. Hashtag LMC.
Ron, you are a legend. Do you fight that?
Not at all.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely, I don't. I'm just glad somebody has finally acknowledged it and chill. Thank you for doubling down on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mars, Ox, Spiller.
Spiller doesn't know you well enough yet to know that you're like the worst host in history.
He read the super chat. He read it. So now you know.
Going off what the chat said.
Facts.
Spiller, just so you know, he is garbage, just for the record. You could be a legend and be garbage at the same time. That could happen.
Some people are a legend for being garbage.
Yes.
Right.
So be more garbage.
Yeah. He is trash.
Be the best at being the worst you can be.
Ron, you're literally Andre Robinson.
Yo, chill him out.
No.
Andre Roberson overseas getting to it.
He's still rocking?
Nice,
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
He over there playing in France.
Hell of a defender.
Nice. Shout out to him.
He's an offensive player now, too. You know, sometimes things change.
Oh, God.
Tank Jones has been a member for 13 months. He said, chain snatched. PG1 resides in Oklahoma City.
Shit.
Shout out to Shay, man. I am about to start lying, but shout out to Shay.
Shay, he getting a little closer to that PG1 title.
Shout out to Shay, man.
Mars brought something up yesterday. I don't think he was trolling. And I was wondering how you felt about this, Ron. What does this crew, Oklahoma City, look like with Kevin Durant on it, 2016?
Chill, what?
But you're replacing them with who are you replacing them with, though? I mean, who are you moving?
Okay.
So J-Dub and Alex Caruso out the way. And then
just pick one of them. Take J-Dub off the crew and put KD in that spot. We got SGA, we got Lou Dort, we got KD, We got
Screw your
SGA,
face
we got
up,
Lou
Ryan.
Dort,
Well, because that
KD.
changes things a little bit. Like if you got to trade somebody out, okay. If it's any of the big three, well, he might sign as a free agent. But I'm saying if it's any of the big three, if you got to trade him out, if you got to trade out J-Dub, they get better, but they kind of get worse.
We're talking about 2016.
How do they get worse?
We're not
How do they
talking
get
about
worse?
this Kevin Durant. We're talking about 2016 KD.
2016 KD.
Oh,
yeah.
How do they get worse? How do they get
Well,
worse?
I didn't know.
Not today, Ron. No, not
2016
20, not
I thought we were talking about
2024. 2016 KD is on this unit right now.
You could take off any two of them.
We taking J-Dub, we taking Dub off the line, we taking Dub out the lineup. In addition to taking Dub out the lineup, if you want to take Alex, I don't want to take Alex Caruso off. If I gotta choose between the two of them, I'll take Dub out the lineup for KD.
Still, you could take J-Dub and Chet off that team. You put 2016 KD on the team.
With
Ain't nothing
SGA,
to talk about.
I think you kind of need Chet, but sure.
I don't think they need Chet right now. We already talked about that though.
No, but I'm because the reason I asked was, I was talking about just adding KD. I wanted to know, would they have action against the 2017 Warriors?
They are the 2017 Warriors, but
yeah, but would they? So you got the 2017 Warriors, and then you got this Thunder team with Pete Kevin Durant. Is it a series?
Okay, so what was
I'm still taking the Warriors.
Okay, what was the
that's why I was just saying, just add them.
Okay, Mars. So what was the problem in KD? Why did he leave there? What was his major problem with leaving Oklahoma City? What was one of his biggest issues?
He didn't think the team had enough skill. That's
skill, and one of the problems was shooting the basketball. That was one of the problems.
Yeah.
Shooting the basketball. So with that being said, this team is a much better long ball shooting team, much better spacing. They spread the offense a lot more than that 2016 team. And you got a primary ball handler who's better at taking care of the basketball. Is he a better player than Russell Westbrook in 2016? Well, I mean, we can have a conversation about that, but I will say for a fact, he's much better at taking care of the basketball than Russell Westbrook was in 2016. So if you got that,
better.
You have
SGA 2024, Russell Westbrook.
Well,
remember who we talking about now? This dude just came up leading the league in scoring.
I just want to talk about it, bro. I'm just asking.
All right, so we brought it up, so it's here. I feel like we had a family discussion and we brought up something difficult. But anyway, so Ron, again, I got a guy who's better at taking care of the basketball. I got a guy who's a better long ball shooter at the lead guard spot. Better at taking care of the basketball. I'm gonna go as far as to say I got a better defender at the lead guard spot too. In SGA,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
I got a better defender at the lead guard spot. So on top of that, we shoot the basketball. We got a better lead guard, and we got a bucket getter in KD. Plus, we got a glass cleaner in Hartenstein. I think that they got a real good shot against the Golden State Warriors. I do.
That's why I asked. Yeah, that's why I asked. It wasn't just what does the OKC Thunder do with prime KD. I think everyone probably has them winning the championship, if not like 26. But I was just thinking, like, is that what it would take for them to be like in the best team ever conversation? Is it just add Kevin Durant? Also, KD played for OKC. That's why I asked about him. But I was just thinking because I think OKC is the better defensive team than the 2017 Warriors if you have prime Kevin Durant. So then it just comes down to how unstoppable do I think they'd be offensively. And that's why I don't know the answer to. But I'd be curious.
Who would be? The Thunder?
The OKC offense. Because like the Warriors, like they had like the best spacing ever. You have Steph, Clay, KD. But then like Draymond's a non-shooter at that point. Iguodala's a non-shooter at that point. And then JaVale McGee and Zaza or whoever. But
I got the Warriors.
But then they move the ball so much better than OKC does. But then Golden State have the mismatch of you can just hunt Steph, whether that's KD hunting Steph, Shea hunting Steph, J-Dub hunting Steph. OKC doesn't have that player you can hunt. So
they don't need one more respectfully. They hunting everybody. That team is shooting. They shooting that team socks off.
I don't know because Golden State always led the league in turnovers, and OKC already lead the league in forcing turnovers. It seems like maybe if there is a team that could play against the like, I know it's a hypothetical team that doesn't actually exist. Sure, but if there was a team that could do it, I do think it would be this current Thunder team. Just in terms
they got Andre Iguodala too. Yeah, come on, bro.
You guys,
Zaza Pachulia can go take out KD's ankle if he needs to as well.
You know what this Thunder team will look like with prime KD slotted at the 4?
Yeah, Ron, but this KD is this OKC team? Is this OKC team better than the 2016 Warriors?
Yeah. Probably with KD.
No.
He's saying
I'm talking about
because
this
both teams just added
both-
KD,
both
so he's
teams
saying
without
was the
KD.
teams prior to KD better.
So is
I
this
got the
20
Warriors.
so is this,
I got the
Golden-
Warriors.
Is this Golden State Warriors team? I mean, not Golden State. I'm sorry. Is this Oklahoma City team better than the 2016 team minus KD and
That
Oklahoma
won
and
73
Golden
Just
State?
the regular 2016 versus the Thunder this year.
Yes, the
I don't
team that
know,
won
you
73 games.
imagine
they're
Chet
not-
and because we still haven't seen Chet and Hartenstein play together, so like we haven't even seen this OKC team at full strength.
Man, Draymond
But
killing.
I
Draymond
doubt
shutting all
it.
that shit
If I'm being honest, I doubt it. But like, I think that neglects like, besides Sean Livingston and Andre Iguodala, Golden State lost all of their depth when they had the KD. And like
All of it.
it's
All of
not
their
really
rotation
the
guys were
same-
gone.
It's not really the same team. It's basically like their core 7 are the same. Steph, Draymond, no, maybe core 5. Steph, Draymond, Iggy, Sean Livingston, and Clay. Those guys were still there, but then like, and Sean Livingston. Everyone else was there though. Everyone else was gone. So it's like, whereas this OKC team is everyone who's already here. So Chet, Hartenstein, Caruso, J-Dub, Shea, Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, Kason Wallace, plus KD. That's a deeper team. And maybe not as top-heavy talented, because Steph is like one of the best players ever. KD's one of the best players ever. Clay's one of the best shooters ever. Draymond's one of the best defenders ever. But in terms of like 1 through 9, 10, I think OKC got it. So I don't know.
I respect that argument. I do. I just think that team, that 2000, and you. So who wasn't there anymore besides obviously Harrison Barnes?
Let me get the facts of which players went there.
I think Nick Young was on the 2017 team. Even that I don't.
Okay.
Was he
They got
17 or
Swaggy
18?
P.
He was on one of
Swaggy
those
P.
teams, yeah.
He was on 17 or 18.
So on the 2016 team, who wasn't there anymore, Harrison Barnes, obviously, Leandre Barbosa, who was playing in the playoffs. I don't need to talk about Ian Clark.
Bogut too.
Was
Andre
Festus Ezeli?
Andrew Bogut wasn't there, Festus Ezeli, Mo Spates, Ian Clark. So the main guys, Harrison Barnes.
That's like
Andrew
4
Bogut,
guys. That's like
Leandre
4 or 5
Barbosa.
guys.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
some of
deal.
them weren't really playing for us. So like the main guys is Harrison Barnes, Andrew Bogut,
Mm.
and Leandre Barbosa. But
Yeah.
I think Andrew Bogut and Harrison Barnes are big differences.
As long as Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston are still there, I'm going with the Warriors.
Interesting. Okay.
Mars,
I'm
it's
not mad
gonna.
at it.
I feel like if you add KD to that group, right? If you add KD to that group, and we're talking about the 2016 KD against the 2017 KD. Okay, the 2017 KD is different in the aspect that he's playing in a different system. He's playing in a system in Oklahoma City where he's still the man. Because I think he's the man on that team. I don't think he's a good player. I think he is the man on that
Golden
team.
State.
But when I say he's the man in a different way. So like he's in Golden State, the ball is moving a little bit more, which is not something that he was accustomed to in Oklahoma City. He was more the ball was not a ball stopper, but the ball was sticking to his hands where he was the primary scorer. So now he gets the Golden State where now the ball is popping a little bit more. And don't forget, Mars, I think he averaged the lowest points that season in 17 that he had since his second year in the league.
It was like 25 or something.
Yeah, that's his second year. So I think the mentality is different with 2016 KD than 2017 KD. And I'm thinking 2016 KD, he might be looking to fry 2017 KD. But
And
I
he
think
would
that it might be.
succeed. KD not guarding himself. He get cooked. He get cooked. Well, that would work. Like OKC KD, if he's looking to actually kill someone, yeah, that's 35 a game, easy. I mean, KD fried Bron. Like KD can do what he wants. Like for me, KD versus KD, like that's gonna be a toss up. It just depends on who gets better shot quality based on what's around him. Like if KD gets good shots, he's gonna be efficient regardless. KD gets bad shots, he's probably gonna be efficient. But so
I just concern myself
that's not
more
really
than anything.
That's insignificant to me. Like KD he's gonna play himself to a tie. I know some people be like 2017 KD is better than 2016 KD. I think he's probably the same player, just with better spacing and more aware of different responsibilities. I think KD in 2016 could be a help side rim protector and play small ball 5 if he had the right personnel. He just didn't, so he didn't do it, but I think he could. Same thing with like being able to see the floor. It's easier to make passing reads when the doubles are more telegraphed because you're not getting doubled on the catch. Instead, you're getting doubled on the dribble. You're getting doubled at different times, etc. So like, it's different. I think it's different. I think on this OKC team, I think he would just have just as many benefits, if not more. So yeah,
I
I
like
don't
this
know.
OKC
I'm just
team,
saying.
I do.
I think it's practically the same thing for KD. He's gonna fry regardless because KD really good at basketball.
Yo, Penn, I would like to hear your thoughts on anything on this conversation you would like to touch on. In specific, if you do want to touch on it, both the current Oklahoma City with KD versus 2017 Golden State.
Before you get to that really quickly, Penn, Ron, you got to address that.
Address what?
Talking about Teddy Hart.
You're right, Chill.
You gotta
Teddy
address
Hart
that.
sent through a $25 super chat. This is what Teddy had to say. He said having KD and Chet is like 2 KDs or like a KD and a half. No team is overcoming that. Quiet as it's kept, OKC can afford KD right now if it doesn't work out with the Suns. This team with 16 KD beat 17 Golden State Warriors. Depth, defense, and 2 7-footers.
Mhm.
I don't think Chet won it with Draymond Green, but all right.
I don't think Draymond won.
He goes at Draymond Green now.
Yes,
This
he does,
Draymond, this Draymond ain't that.
The more
Draymond.
unhinged Draymond. Yes.
Yeah, he's unhinged, but he still ain't the same.
Argument. He's
No,
going at
boss,
the
be-
mentally deranged Draymond Green.
The criminal, the
real.
one who should be in a
No
penitentiary.
disrespect
Like,
to Draymond, because I know Draymond be getting them mad when people. I'm joking.
Yeah,
Draymond.
but be for real.
I'm
be
not.
for real. Like,
Draymond is a
he's
whack job.
He's a nut job.
he is a whack job. 100% he is.
Yo, chill. Dude is definitely 51-50, 100%. But
No
he's
doubt,
he still
730.
ain't the play. He still ain't the player he was in 2018-17 though.
Right.
Yeah, you're terrified of him now, but him, you know what I'm saying, it's different though. It's different.
No, you're right. You're right.
I got OKC.
For what reason?
You like OKC with KD on that crew?
Because they have 2 7-footers?
Is it this version of KD or is it
No,
2017?
2016 KD.
2016 KD.
Man.
Oh, you said you had OKC with this KD?
Uh-huh.
No, we got
so this is easy
2016
for you.
KD.
Yeah, this is easy for you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that enough appreciation is being given to how good this team would be defensively with that version of KD. Like they go from God mode to God mode times 2, you know, and then you add in Chet, you add in Isaiah Hartenstein. That's a lot of size for guys like Draymond to deal with, in my opinion, right? And then you get some of the best guard defenders that can stick to Steph. Yeah, man. I know it's hard to say that because that team did it, and they're a legacy and they're a dynasty, loosely defined. They're a dynasty, but yeah, I think I take this version of OKC. This version of OKC could win like 67 games too, and they're playing in a better conference.
Now, can we remember?
Sorry, real quick. I also think it's relevant. Like this 2017 Warriors team is deemed by many, and I think rightfully so, as like the best shooting team ever or the best space team ever. This OKC team, without Kevin Durant, makes more threes per game than the 2017 Warriors did.
That's
just in terms of
because they shooting more.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. The game has changed so much
Sure.
that the best shooting team ever, or like second, because like last year's Boston team is kind of crazy, makes less threes per game and shoots less threes per game than Oklahoma City does, and they're shooting 9 less threes a game. Like it's a substantial amount. So I also think that's kind of relevant in that sense that OKC is not going to lose the 3-point battle in terms of volume. Like they're going to get threes up. They just don't have as good as shooters, but they're going to get threes up as well. So it's not like playing the 80s team, for example.
That's definitely going to happen, Mars. But the question that I have is how do you, because the way Oklahoma City flies around, right? I thought that, especially with Draymond being a primary ball handler, Draymond was really good at splitting traps. Not only was he good at splitting traps, he was good at getting downhill and being a distributor. So with this team flying around, and I'm not going to put him in the same category with guys like Luka because I don't think that he's that good of a playmaker and distributor. No, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. But what I am doing is I am making him a playmaker. He was a better athlete in 2016. I think he was a damn good decision maker. Then I got Steph Curry on the wing, who is really good off the basketball. And I also got a 6'6", 6'7" guy who's going to cause hell with J-Dub and Klay Thompson, who's a sharpshooter, and who can also get to the basket or who can get to a 1 or 2 dribble pull-up. When I think about that offense, I don't think that you can single out one guy. And then when we get to the meat and potatoes of the game, my best player is better than your best player. You know how I feel about that, right?
The best player is the same player.
When we get to the meat and potatoes of the game, my best player is better than your best player. That's what I feel like it's going to come down to.
Your KD's better than my KD.
No, the best player is number 30.
Is 2017 Steph better than Shea right now?
Okay. Okay, calm down. I don't know what you
I'm
talking.
asking the question.
But okay.
Is he? Does
Let's say
anybody
for the
see?
sake of argument,
100%. Yes.
for the
Let's
sake
not do
for the
that.
sake of argument, let's say Steph was the best.
Yeah,
player in
Steph
the world.
clears.
Yeah, for this against Shea. Yeah.
Okay.
For the sake of argument,
yeah.
let's say Steph was the best player in the 2017 World.
Yeah.
Can we also agree that Kevin Durant was their closer?
Yep.
So when it comes down to closing, the guy they went to versus the guy OKC is going to go to is the same person. It doesn't really make much of a difference, even if Steph was the best player. But closing, they went to Kevin Durant. So it's going to be Kevin Durant versus Kevin Durant closing. It's going to be the same thing.
I just think the mentality is different between those two guys because Kevin Durant,
Right.
it is the same guy, Mars. But I think I think I'm looking at it. 16 KD. Like I've already said to you, KD's mentality as a scorer in 16 is different than KD's mentality as a scorer in 17. I think he was trying to integrate himself within the offense in 17 more than in 16. He was just get a pill here and I'll go. In 17, he's closing games, but he's closing games and also looking for guys. So when he gets doubled, he is looking for Steph Curry. When he gets doubled, he's looking for Klay Thompson. In 16, he knows that I can't really look for Russ like that. I can't look for Robeson like that.
Yeah, but
I got to do it.
J-Dub and Lou Dort and
But are we subbing out J-Dub for KD? Or?
I don't.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, you probably close with Shea, J-Dub, KD, Chet, and then whichever defender you want, case someone is Lou Dort, whoever shooting better. That's probably what you close with. Or maybe you go ultra big and go Shea, J-Dub, KD, Chet, Hartenstein.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like you have the versatility to do what you want. And I don't think KD was I'm not saying you said he was an unwilling passer, but I think KD, the reason he didn't pass as much in OKC is because they were double teaming off Andre Roberson. It's like, what do you want me to do? You want me to pass to Andre Roberson? Like, that's playing into the defense hands. Whereas in Golden State, it's like, yeah, I'll pass to Klay. I'll pass to Steph. I'll pass to Draymond. He's going to make a good decision. Like, I think that's what he would have in OKC. If you double team off Shea, all right, cool. We got Shea going one-on-one against the closeout. We got J-Dub doing the same thing, or we got Lou Dort making 40% of his threes. Like, I think KD was just as willing as a passer. It's just, unfortunately, teams double teams off Serge Ibaka and Dion Waiters and Andre Roberson. It's like, if I pass to them, we lose.
Wait, we need to ask the question. What's the gap between that Steph and this Shea? What's the gap? Because Ox said he clears.
I think it's substantial.
Why?
So
Because I think that Steph is one of the 15 best players we've ever seen. I don't think Shea's in close to that round.
So Penn, we'll
right
start with
now.
Okay, so
yeah, I don't think
I'm not talking. I'm not talking like Shea's whole career. I'm saying
no.
Yeah, I don't think
24.
Shea right now is playing at a level that is in the top 15 of all time conversation. So he's right now, in my opinion, in the top 5 players in the league conversation. Like Steph,
he's not in the conversation. He is the conversation.
Well,
you're not doing him any favors by throwing a perennial MVP candidate into the top 5 conversations.
Right.
Yeah, but he's still in the top 5
Jokic,
conversation. That's what he is.
Giannis. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Would that be okay?
And Mars, he's in the conversation with 3 other historical players too.
I agree.
So it's not just like he's just in there.
But Steph was like the players in the top 5 conversation in 2017. They were in the conversation against historical players in LeBron, KD, and Steph.
That's true.
It's the same thing. Steph was the historical players. In today's game, it's Jokic and Giannis. They're the historical players. And maybe, I don't know how you feel about Luka. But like, Shea's the non-historical player right now, being compared to the historical players. Steph was the one who was the historical player.
Okay.
That was a unanimous MVP if you want to go the accolade route, or just one of the most dangerous offensive weapons we've ever seen. That's not what Shea is. That's no disrespect to Shea. I'm saying he's not.
I'm not going to say that y'all hating on Shea, but yesterday I had Chilltown tell me that Luka does more stuff. And then I watched the game and I saw Shea do a hell of a lot more stuff. So
Shea does stuff.
Does defense matter?
Yes,
Shea's better defender. Does rebounding matter? Because he's a better rebounder.
Does
paint finishing matter? Does
whoa,
inside the arc matter?
Hang on for a second. Hang on for a second.
What nerve have I struck?
Well, you said that he said that he's a better rebounder. If I'm not mistaken, I watched Steph Curry almost average a triple-double in the finals in 2017. He almost averaged double
5-game series of averaging 8 rebounds.
Right.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to, Mars. You don't have to. You don't have to appreciate that, even though considering what Cleveland considering what Cleveland had, with having one of the best offensive rebounders in the game, with having James, arguably the best small forward rebounder in the game, So they had rebounding, and Steph Curry stuck his nose in there and got on the glass as the lead guard. Nobody else was doing that. Kyrie Irving wasn't doing that.
But chill, what are we doing?
LeBron doesn't really go for offensive rebounds, so he wasn't battling with LeBron.
Either way, though, Mars. Either way, though, whether he does or doesn't, are we putting since SGA developed a little pull up three ball? We're putting him in conversations with 2017 Steph Curry.
He ain't even really developed though. He just shoots it a lot more now. It's still not.
I just want to be clear what conversation we have.
Well, I think Penn's trying to make the case that it's not as wide of a gap as I guess me and you alluded to. But for me,
I mean
we're talking about 2 point guards. Like the rebounding gap. Like even if Shea is the better rebounder, which he is, and he is substantially the better defender, the rebounding in particular is so marginal of a thing. Like I don't think that makes up for the wide offensive gap that Steph's gonna have.
I'm giving you the edge. Okay, I'm saying like it's not like Shea's a terrible shooter. No, he's a good shooter.
Money mid-range game.
Inside the arc, rebounding plus play. I think playmaking is honestly pretty even between these two. Playmaking talent is pretty even between these two. Okay, neither one of them are Chris Paul.
With the ball.
Playmaking, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, with passing specifically. I'm taking Shea as a scorer. I'm taking Steph as a shooter. Okay,
I'm with you, Penn. Keep going.
Because last year, Nicole.
You scored with shooting.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I mean,
but that's not the whole thing, though. That's not the whole thing when you, and that's the point that Penn is alluding to.
No, I get
it's
that.
not
Steph Curry and Shea talk.
Just because you shoot shit out of the ball doesn't mean you're a better scorer, and that's what Penn is alluding to. But keep going, Penn.
Yeah, when you shoot like Steph, it's kind of a strong argument.
Yes.
No, man.
And Steph gets to the rack courtesy of his shooting.
I think what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does is harder. Okay. Yeah. Primarily because it is more with the basketball than without the basketball. And therefore, I think it is slightly harder to stop in a playoff setting. Number one. Number two, last I checked, Shaquille O'Neal, your cousin, Chilltown, got on the air when Nikola Jokic was being presented an MVP last year and said, no disrespect, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should have won it. So my question is, if he could beat Nikola Jokic for MVP, and we say Nikola Jokic is one of the best offensive players of all time, if not the best offensive player of all time, then why can't he clear Steph? Are you trying to tell me, hang on, are you trying to tell me that Jokic is worse than Steph substantially?
I think we argue
two different. Beating someone for MVP doesn't mean you're better than him. AI beat Shaq for MVP. He wasn't better than Shaq.
And not only that,
and it should never happen. But I love AI, so I'm not even gonna push against it. I'm gonna look the other way. I'm gonna say, all right, cool. I'm happy that AI won it. AI was great, but what I'm saying is this Shai is so underrated. It's insane. So I'm almost
underrated in what aspect, though, Penn? When you say underrated
because he plays in a small market, underrated because he hadn't won a championship.
I agree, he's underrated, but that doesn't mean
if he's in Miami, if Shai is in Miami, are we having a conversation that Shai's the best player in the game? If he's in Miami,
I don't get how this. I
just
feel like even
because you're not the best player in the game does not mean you're not better than 2017 Steph.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
2017 Steph wasn't the best player in his own team.
No.
Shai wouldn't be better than Kevin Durant either.
I say the gap is just as big.
Mm-hmm. But I want to rewind because you just mentioned.
I feel like you underrate Steph. That's where I'm at.
I'm not underrating Steph.
Yeah, you are.
I put Steph in my top 10 all time. I just think y'all are underrating. I think y'all are underrating Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
You have someone because in your top 10 all time and you're saying Shai is just as good as him?
It's hard to compare a 26-year-old to a 36-year-old because you already seen the best part of the 36-year-old. So you're coloring all of that into your perspective on him. But Shai could be just as good. Like we are talking about a guy who was a top 3 finals, MVP, who's leading a really great team at 25.
Right.
Okay. That's not any less than Steph.
Steph was an NBA champion at 25, but okay.
And not only that, Mars, to compound this point, I mean, Penn, you just told me that Shai was able, he was close to beating out one of the best offensive forces that the NBA has ever seen. So Steph is coming off of a season where he was considered the best offensive season in NBA history. That's the season that he's coming off of, going into the 16-17 season. That's the guy that we're dealing with right now. And we're dealing with that guy who couldn't beat out a guy who's coming off one of the best offensive seasons, one of the best offensive players in NBA history. So when I think about everything that Steph Curry did, the attention that he attracts, the long ball shooter that he is, how good he is off the dribble. He will compete on the defensive end. I don't think that Curry is a better defender than SGA. He will compete on the defensive end 100%. He was one of the better finishers at his position in the league that year at the rim. 100% he was. So in terms of the gap between Steph Curry and SGA in going into the 2016-17 season and SGA today, I think it's like this. I don't think that SGA is close to him.
Okay. Mid-range scoring, who's better?
Shea.
SGA.
At the rim, who's better?
Shea.
Okay. Who's better getting to the line?
Shea.
Curry doesn't shoot that much. He doesn't shoot that many free throws. I think he shoots like 5 or 6 free throws a game.
He shot 4.5 per game in 2016. Shea is literally doubling that. As a defender, who's better?
Shea.
Who's more versatile? Positionally, who's more versatile? Who can play more positions offensively, defensively?
Shea.
Okay. So make the argument without saying he's a better shooter.
So we do so okay. I want you to keep
you're just doing the checklist argument, and I think the checklist
It is a good argument. It is a good argument because you no,
it is.
I do think it's a stupid argument.
It is a dumb argument.
The shooting is a context of the system. No, the shooting is a context of the system. You cannot like on the one hand, you want to remove Steph Curry from the context of the team that he was in. Draymond and Clay and the spacing, that creates a lot of value for Steph. Okay. Playing around other great players helps him. I'm sorry. We saw Steph play next to KD and Clay. And I don't think that necessarily we've seen a full season of Shea playing with that kind of talent. Okay. He's a player who also benefits from space, those wider driving angles. I just think he's a more complete basketball player. He's a bigger basketball player. He's a bigger playmaker. Go listen to Kyrie talking about the advantages that big playmakers have in tight situations, especially in fourth quarter situations. Who's more clutch? Hang on. Who's more clutch? Historically, who is more clutch?
Historically or in 2017?
That's what we were talking about. Just in
fine. In 2017, because you're comparing a 25 game sample of one player versus like a full season of another.
Well,
that's not really fair.
Season 2, if you think he's practically the same person, unless you think Shea's got much better this year. I don't know.
Shea is better,
but substantially better. So was Shea last season a conversation with peak Steph Curry, or has he just got into that conversation with his improvements this year?
I think his conversation was right there. If you're a top 3 player in the league, how are you not in that conversation?
How high do you rank?
So then you can use the whole season of last year as a sample as well. I think.
How about that for one more time? One more time, Spill.
How high do you rank this version of Shea?
Where do you think Shea? Where do you think Shea is in the pantheon of players in the NBA today, Penn?
This version of him,
2024, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Where is he?
If he did this thing for this whole career, like if his whole career was just this year times 20, is that what you're asking?
No, I'm asking you in the 24-25 season. In December of 24-25, in the pantheon of great players in the NBA today, where is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander?
Players today.
I'm not sure how to answer that question. I'm not trying to.
Okay, before you go any further, Penn, let me make it simpler for you. I think Jason Tatum is the 3rd best player in today's game in the pantheon of great players in today's game.
Oh, he's better.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in today's game. Where do you see him?
Again, I'm trying to understand how we're.
Is Shea a top 5 player in the league
today? Yes.
Yes. Is he better than Jokic?
No.
Is he better than Giannis?
He's close.
Is he better than Luka?
He's close.
Is he better than Tatum?
Yes.
Okay, so he's at worst the 4th best player in the league. At best,
is he better than Embiid? Healthy Embiid.
Yes.
I'll take him over Embiid.
At worst, he's the 4th best player. At best, he's the 2nd best player. There you go. That's your answer, Chum. So you can carry on with whatever you want to go. That's his answer.
But you're comparing him to different leagues. So is that version of Steph better than Jokic? Be for real now.
The 15, 16.
They just answered yesterday that I think peak Steph is better than Jokic. They just said that yesterday.
Okay, forget it. It's cool.
I just said I think you're lower on Steph. Good.
I was asking.
I'm interested to see what TikTok and the YouTube comments think about this because I think you're crazy.
Wow. I mean, 20.
I was asking how high do you have this version of Shea like historically all time? Like 2016 Steph, Mars says that's one of the 15 greatest seasons ever. If you think he's comparable, where do you have this version of Shea 2024 all time?
Better than that.
You think this is one of the 10 best seasons ever?
I don't think Steph's season was one of the 15 greatest seasons ever. So,
I just okay. So you said Steph's top 10 all time, so that obviously factors in the longevity of it all and stuff, right? So if I were just to ask you the 10 best players ever, so longevity not a factor, just this player at their best versus this player at their best throughout all of NBA history.
Yep.
Steph is obviously not in your top 10, right?
Nope.
Okay, so would he be in your top 20?
So the best, so you're talking all-time greatest peaks. That's what you're
Yes.
talking, right?
Yeah.
Singular year or like a multi-year run?
However he wants to do it for Steph. Like when you view Steph at his best, is that 1 season? Is that 2 seasons, 3 seasons? However you view it. And since he's apparently not better than Shea, whatever the sample is that's not better than Shea, that version of Steph is your top 20 player in history at their best. Or is that 20 players better than?
I think he's up there. Like this version of, we haven't seen this version of Shea for very long. Like this is by far the best version of him that we're seeing this year. It's marginally better than last year. Next year might be marginally better than this year. If next year is marginally better than this year, and we start seeing like the impact on winning, and we see him like consistently number one, and I think you need to have that conversation. He doesn't draw a lot of attention to himself, but that 3-year stretch of his would be up there with the best 3-year stretches of most people's careers. The careers that would not be up with, obviously, are guys like LeBron, Jordan, Wilt, like the top, like 6, Maybe it wouldn't be up there as but Steph does not get on my top 10 because of his singular, 3-year stretch.
Mm-hmm.
It's the complete body of work. It's the accomplishments. It's the impact on the game. That stuff. But I'm not considering the impact of the game when I'm saying straight player versus player.
Better, yeah. That's why I wanted to make it clear, because some people are like, you got Steph top 10, but you think like that's why I had to like make the distinction between who's better and like who did more for the game and stuff. So I understand that. I still vehemently disagree with you, but I understand like what you're saying. I just think it's wrong.
Yep.
Like
I have
really
a
wrong.
$25 super chat, and then Pin. We're gonna play a little game because I gotta see exactly how you feel about Shea. And like I said, I'm higher on Shea than I would probably say everybody up here, except for you, Pin. But I want to see just how high on Shea you are. Before we get to that, though, Teddy Hart sent through a super chat. He said Steph is a better 3-point shooter, off-ball scorer, and ball handler. To me, that's where the list ends. SGA is more complete, in my opinion. Steph is God level at one specific aspect of the game and was further enhanced by team talent and system.
That's a good comment.
I never bought into that off-ball scorer thing. Never.
Why?
Because you need the ball to score.
Yes.
No.
So
Yes.
Well, you can't score
No.
without touching the ball, and the moment you touch the ball,
Steph's
you're on
movement
the ball. Like, I get
off the
what you're
ball
saying.
creates pockets of space for all other players. When you have
So
a
then
player who can run a team off to death, like guys like Steph, guys like Rip Hamilton,
Pin, you
players
don't
like
have
that.
to explain this to Chill. Chill is not a basketball dummy. He doesn't open the basketball dummy one-on-one book.
He said
Chill
he doesn't
knows
understand
this.
off-ball
No,
scoring.
he knows this. Chill's just having a chill moment for no reason.
No, I'm not having a chill
No,
moment.
he knows
what
like
Reggie
he knows
Miller
what it
does
means.
doesn't make him a
he's
better
just saying
scorer.
technically
A better
you
player.
need the ball to score. That's what
You
he's
do.
No,
saying.
you do, but
Like
you have to get open.
Reggie Miller runs off 17 picks, for example. But
Right.
in order
That's
for
what
him to
makes him
score,
elite.
he has to get the ball.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's
And
what
what-
makes him
gets the ball,
elite.
he's
That's what
on the
allows
ball.
him to score.
And what
Reggie
you-
Miller wouldn't be
No,
Reggie
and
Miller.
what you
understands that you start off the ball, but he's
Right.
saying in order to score the ball has to physically be in your possession, which means at that point you are on the ball. That's what Chill is saying.
Obviously,
He understands
but-
that you
I think
start off the ball
what
and all
Chill
that.
is
That's
saying
what I'm
is I don't
saying.
care how you get the ball or what you do before you get the ball. Do you put it in the hole? And I'm trying to say it does matter how you get the basketball, and all the stuff that you do before you get the basketball disrupts where the defense is.
But I'm
So-
gonna take it even a step further. Everything that you do before you score is what makes you an elite scorer. Allen Iverson's crossover to get into his mid-range or to get to his floater, that's what made him elite. Shaq just being a big physical presence under the hoop, made him elite because he was able to post up on anybody and turn around and just dunk on them.
But you're
Giannis
still talking about
Antetokounmpo
on
running
ball.
the floor is what makes him an elite
Ron,
fast break scorer.
you haven't, Ron, you're having a Ron moment. Like, what the hell? He's not talking about what players do with the basketball.
I know.
Crossovers are with the basketball. It's not without the basketball.
I get that. What I'm trying to say is, regardless of what Chill's saying, what I'm saying is I value what you do before you score the ball because that is essentially what makes you who you are. If all of these players, if De'Aaron Fox didn't have an elite first step, he wouldn't be De'Aaron Fox.
This has nothing to do with the conversation that he's having about
has
what you do
everything to do
before
with
you
this.
get the ball, not what you do before you score. It's what you do before you get the ball.
I know.
Am I right, Chill? That's what you're saying, right?
I'm adding on to that. I'm using that to make. I'm using that to make my point.
But your point is completely different. What the hell does what is running off a screen have to do with
Ron, I get
how
what you're saying,
how hot sauce your handles are? No, that's not
Ron,
the point.
he's not gonna listen to you, man.
I get what you're saying.
Everything influences the game. Your passing ability, like if I know you're a great passer, the fact that you could throw like a no-look dime is going to influence the pass. Like it's going to influence how open your teammates are. Right. The fact that you're a great scorer or even a great shooter, like Steph's gravity might be the argument against Shea. What he does to the court and what he does to the other 5 defenders is what I think bends the argument his way. My only reason for pushing this argument is not genuinely because I believe, Shea's better than Steph. It's that I think the conversation should be had. And I think that it's closer than people think because they don't do the same stuff, clearly. But how do you value what Shea does to the interior versus what Steph does to the entire floor? Mm-hmm. How do you value how much Shea helps defensively versus how much Steph needs to be helped defensively? These are not similar players at all. Like they're not similar players. They may play the same position, but they're very different players. So it's like you're really talking philosophically. Do you care about the off-ball gravity and stuff? Do you care about how many screens Steph runs off of, what that does to the defense? Do you care about all the screens? And then the other point is, do you just care about an isolation scorer who can do a lot of crazy good stuff with the basketball? I don't know.
You think James Harden's better than Steph?
No, because I have a bit of a bias. I think you know what? I think he's in that conversation too. Peak James Harden was a better playmaker than Steph. He's a better passer than Steph. He's a better defender than Steph. I know people hate that, but the best version. I'm not talking like the absolute. Okay, in fairness, not the absolute cheeks version of James Harden. There was like a couple years where James Harden was like the worst defender ever, and people just really trolled him mercilessly. But there are some values to James as a defender. I'm not saying he's good. Please understand me. I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying he wasn't terrible. Like his playmaking was very, very special, and his scoring and even the volume of his threes. Yeah, I think he's in that conversation too.
All right, Pin, I got something for you. And before we get into this chat, I'm running a poll right now. Who better, prime Steph or prime Harden? You guys talk to me.
I know where this is going.
So Steph's gonna win that poll like 95 to 5.
There's no way Harden's winning that, bro.
Let's see how many
Mo and myself are gonna be the only people voting for James Harden.
I think Harden FC might be a little bigger than that.
Let's go Harden FC. Come on.
I got something for you. We're gonna do an SGA versus the field, and this is historical guards of all time. So I just want to know how many people you have
at their best, not longevity included. Just
at their best.
Yes, at their best. Who's better? Yes.
So this version of Shea versus the best version of that player.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Are we all involved, or is it just Penn?
Do you guys all want to get involved? You guys can chime. No, let's hear Penn. We're just gonna run through the gauntlet with Penn, and then you guys can chime in.
Run through the gauntlet. Amazing.
All right, first guy we got for you, Penn. Derrick Rose. SGA versus Derrick Rose. Who you got?
SGA.
SGA versus Jason Kidd.
SGA.
SGA versus Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady.
SGA versus Steve Nash.
SGA.
SGA versus Allen Iverson.
SGA.
SGA versus Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade.
SGA versus Prime Dame Dollar.
SGA.
SGA versus Prime Russell Westbrook.
SGA.
Mm.
I
And
I don't even believe that, but I'm saying it anyway.
And last but not least, SGA versus MVP James Harden.
Pen, this one is not hard,
SGA.
Pen. It's
SGA.
not, yo.
SGA.
Like,
He lost me at Steve Nash. I know he lost Ox at Jason Kidd. Yeah, he lost
Steve
me at
Nash
Steve
was
Nash.
hard. Yeah, that one was tough, Pen.
At least he gave T-Mac the flowers he deserved.
Yes,
So, but-
T-Mac was there.
Peak T-Mac was crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
at least
But
T-Mac
that was
got
like
the
a
love and
2-year
D-Wade
peak.
got the love.
So,
But-
Pen, I want to ask you. So, as good as SGA is, again, I mean, because the stuff that we add up, because I know how you feel about, he's a better shooter, he's a better scorer, he's a better distributor. And when I think about 2006, Steve Nash, where is the divide between him and SGA?
Defensively,
There
Okay.
is a divide there. There is a divide.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
now,
as a
Now-
scorer, overall, like I understand Nash could have scored more, but he didn't.
Yep.
I'm gonna hold that against him because
Sure.
what he did with those possessions instead was become one of the best passers of all time. So, yeah, he was a great shooter. Like I think if Steve Nash could go back on his career, he probably would want to shoot more. I think he'd want to score more,
Mhm.
but he didn't.
Who had a
So
better
we gotta-
mid-range game, you think?
Ooh, that's close. But Shea, because he's bigger, I'm gonna give the edge to the bigger player. Just harder to
Steve Nash
stop.
had a
Is that why
money
you gave the
mid-range
edge to
game.
T-Mac? Because he's 6'9"?
Yeah, I value big playmakers.
That's fair. I could get with that.
Shea or Kobe?
It's
Well,
real
shut
close.
this stream down. Don't even.
I know
I'll
the
get-
right
I-
question.
Ron,
Shea
don't-
or Kobe?
hey, Ron,
We won't
Kobe.
even be here for the last
question.
hour.
I know the
Yeah,
right
We won't
question.
even be here for
Stop,
the last
Ron.
Shea
hour.
or
Right? I
Kobe?
swear.
Stop,
Shea or
Ron.
Kobe? Shea or Kobe?
Stop,
I know the
Ron.
right questions to
I'm not
ask.
even giving him the opportunity to
Yo,
answer that.
Ron, don't get him
Nah.
back, Ron.
I
He
said
would
Get him back, Ron.
You will not humiliate us.
Get him back, Ron.
He said
Get him back up
Kobe.
here,
I
Ron.
said
Nah,
Kobe.
Pen, we're not gonna do that. Nah, we
Get him
not.
back up here.
I
So
said
Pen,
Kobe.
Pen.
Yo, who removed me? It's my show.
It
Do
is
you think like this version of Shea is like one of the best 12 players ever?
I don't think that version of Kobe is one of the best 12 players ever.
Where do you have
A lot
Kobe?
of- He's in the-
below
he's
Arvidas Sabonis.
Yo,
Ron!
what's going on? Ron, what is happening right now, Ron?
He's in the top
Freedom of
15.
speech.
Y'all just do the show. Me and Pen ain't gonna be here.
Okay.
No, Pen
Top
gonna be here.
15.
Pen gonna be here. Pen gonna be
Top
here.
15, bro. Top
Because
15.
you also said that you have Jokic ahead of Shea. You also said that Giannis was ahead of Shea. You said it was close. I'm assuming you're taking Giannis and Jokic ahead of them. So do you have
Peak,
those?
yes, peaks. Like we're conflating.
So you
they're
have
nothing
Jokic,
all
you have
time.
Jokic, Giannis, and Shea. These three versions of the players. Maybe even Luka. Is Luka a part of that too, or no?
The best version of Luka. So not this
The
season.
best
version of Luka.
is like in the top.
Have we
20
seen the best
conversation.
version of Luka? Have we seen the best version?
The best
of
so
Luka?
far. The best so
The best. So,
Okay.
so you think those all four of those players are better than any version of Kobe ever, or Steph Curry too?
So Kobe would be the fourth best player in the NBA today.
Yeah,
2006
Prime, best,
Prime.
best version of Kobe ever is like the fifth best player in the NBA right now.
The best version of Kobe is worse than this version of Jokic, 100%. He's in the conversation. He's like in that conversation with Giannis, Shea, Luka.
Similar to what Ron said about KD. KD's not one of the 10 best players since 2000. Peak for peak. Is Kobe out the top 10 of the last 25 years? Is there 10 players at their best better than Kobe in the last 25 years?
In the last 25 years,
Yeah, so since 2000.
there can't be. There
Since
can't be.
since
I want
2000.
to know.
There
Let me
can't
know.
be.
Since
Yo,
LeBron-
if this is
LeBron-
what I put you guys through.
There's no way.
I apologize.
There's no way.
This is what you did,
There's
Ron.
no
This is how I
way.
felt.
This
This
is
is how I
100%
felt.
what you did, Ron.
I'm sorry.
Kobe,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
It's too late.
Kobe's definitely
I
top.
just
In the
wanna- I
last
just wanna
25
know.
years, there's no way Kobe's
Let me
not
do
top.
it. Let me just say some names and I'll ask you if they're better than the best Kobe ever was.
Okay.
So Shaq was Shaq better
Yes.
than Kobe?
Yes.
Well, I'm asking Penn because
Okay,
Penn's
go
the
ahead.
main guy.
Yeah.
Was Tim Duncan better than Kobe?
The best version of
Yes,
Tim?
the
Best
best of
version
Tim
of him.
Duncan.
Yes.
LeBron,
Yes.
Kevin Garnett.
2004 KG.
Yeah, 2004 KG. Is that better than Kobe ever was?
He was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, he was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
I don't hate that one.
Dwayne Wade, was Dwayne Wade at his best better than Kobe? 2009.
No.
I agree.
It was
with you.
close.
Was Tracy McGrady 2003? Was he better than Kobe?
2003 Tracy versus which version of Kobe?
Whenever you think the best version of Kobe Whenever you think the best version of Kobe was versus Tracy McGrady, averaging 32, 38% from three, very good defense. That Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, I think T-Mac. He peaked.
Five.
He peaked.
Okay,
a
that's
little
5.
bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Curry.
Jokic.
Yep.
Giannis, the best version of Giannis.
Yep.
The best version of Luka. So probably Luka last season, I guess.
Yes.
That's 9. Is there anyone else I'm forgetting? Anyone
say Curry?
obvious?
Curry.
He's not gonna say yes to Steph, but Steph.
James Harden.
Yeah, James Harden.
No.
You said Shea was worse.
Mhm.
Anyone else I'm forgetting? Anyone else obvious?
Russ.
Kawhi. The best of Kawhi.
Yes.
That's 10. I
10
got to
guys.
10. We got to 10. So
10 guys right
that's
there.
10. Is there anyone else I'm forgetting? Anyone else obvious I'm forgetting?
Russ.
Once again,
Best version of Russ.
Kobe's best years that you're thinking about, whatever you're thinking about, whether you're thinking 02, 03, 04, 05, 05, 06, this big scoring seasons, if you're talking about the championship redemption arcs, a lot of it is the totality of the work that puts him in the top 15 for me. It's not just what he did for 1 or 2 seasons, it's what he did consistently for 1.5 decades. I don't think Giannis has done this for 1.5 decades. Jokic has not done this for 1.5 decades. So that's the difference. That's the separating factor. When you look at guys like Curry and Kobe, it wasn't just like it was like some godly peak. It wasn't like one great season. It wasn't 2 great seasons. It was the longevity of the work. That's the same thing with LeBron. LeBron, like maybe there's like a Jokic season that's going to be up there with the best LeBron season. But Jokic's entire body of work is not going to be LeBron's entire body of work. So you got to separate these two. But yeah, I do think like Tracy McGrady. Is Tracy McGrady a top 30 player of all time? No. But his peak, that one singular season, if that's all you ever saw of him, holy shit, you think you'd be watching Basketball Jesus.
But there we go, we got to 10. So
there you have it.
I had a feeling we could get to 10. Ron disappeared on us.
No.
But yeah.
No, he back.
Welcome back, Ron.
He was right there the whole time. He was there the whole time.
That's how we felt with you, Ron. Like KD nonsense.
Can I get all the names that you just
Even
said?
though
You
Penn,
had?
even though Penn gave legit logic.
I gave legit logic too, and y'all
the name,
let this man off the hook like OJ.
Let me tell you the
this man
name.
run.
So we have LeBron, Shaq, Jokic, Duncan, Giannis, Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett, Kawhi, Tracy McGrady,
Cool.
and was that it? Was that the 10? Or was there one
I
more?
think so. That was 10.
I think that was the 10, unless I forgot someone. LeBron, Shaq, Jokic, Duncan, Giannis, KD.
So Kobe not
Kevin
top
Garnett,
25 to you? Then.
Kawhi,
He can't.
Tracy
Be.
McGrady.
Top 25 what? Players?
Yeah, like
He's
like,
top 15 player.
No,
Where do
like
you have
peaks.
him, like,
We're just talking about peaks. We're just talking about.
Well,
peaks.
at that best, because then
about
you're gonna have to say MJ, Hakeem.
Ken, you are off your rocker right now. Whatever Canadian whiskey you're drinking.
Oh,
switch to
Luca. Yeah, Luca was
tequila,
the other one. Thank you.
gin,
Luca was the other one. Thank you.
Moscow mules, whatever it is, you gotta switch your preferences of drinks.
Moscow
Don't
Mule.
drink Canadian whiskey no more. Because you just don't.
Yeah, you
see
know
straight.
Kobe gave them boys 81. Like, you know what's going on. Like, you know how this is.
I'm not against Kobe. I don't like this. Just because we don't agree on something, but you got to say someone's a hater. They're not a hater. Just
Oh no,
I'm
100%
Oh,
are a
yeah,
hater.
I'm just
100%
making a
are a
joke.
hater.
I just think
I'm telling you that right now.
I'm a hater
Yes,
of who?
of Kobe Bryant. You
Ironic
hate him.
coming from Chill, but
Yes,
sure.
Coming from
hate
you,
Kobe
that's
Bryant.
rich.
No,
That's rich.
this is what I'm saying. This ain't me. This is the masses. You a hater because you don't think he's one of the 10 best players over the last 25 years. No.
You want to know the surest way? You want to know the surest way
hater.
to be really miserable in life? Care what the masses think. Care deeply what
Yes.
other people think about you. I clearly
Right.
do not care what other people think about me, which is why I say the things that I say, because I don't care.
I'm very interested to see how the world reacts to the clip I just
Pin.
got us.
Good night.
Another 2 million, another 2 million
Good
views saying like
night.
you're an idiot. It's all good, man. I don't care. It's cool.
No, I mean TikTok doesn't like Kobe, so they might agree with you. YouTube, they're gonna disagree, and Instagram, oh my god, they're gonna kill you. But
cares?
TikTok might agree with
What
you. TikTok
useless
might
information, Mars? This doesn't matter.
agree. It doesn't. I just enjoy reading the comments, and I'm gonna enjoy reading them comments too.
Absolutely. This is good stuff, man. This is really good stuff, no doubt.
All right, y'all. I got a couple super chats, and then we're gonna get into a couple other things that I wanted to get into, but shout out to
Oh
Pin.
yeah, Twitter.
shout out to Pin,
Love
man.
this.
But all right, y'all. We got a super chat from Maradi Tanzambi. Maradi said, I am so sorry. This Shea is not better than 16 or 17 Steph. The shooting alone clears him. The best off-ball player of all time? Question mark. Let's move on. He clears Shea.
I do think he clears. I didn't expect.
I think
to
he's
have that
better than
conversation
Shea
today.
Gilgeous-Alexander. I do think that.
I don't think it's a conversation.
Yeah.
Definitely thought that was going to be a 30-second conversation.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. But hey, I guess you can. We can
Ox
make
was
a
like,
case,
we did
man.
not have to be here this long for this.
I
I'm here for all. I'm here for all basketball talks, hypothetical or not. Y'all know I'll engage in anything, but I just wasn't expecting.
Right.
Yeah, same. But I got Steph. So clearly, like substantially, like a very wide gap. Not even in the same realm. Different planets.
And also, too, this show is brought to you by PrizePicks, where you can play $5 and get 50 instantly. The only platform that gives you the opportunity to do that and that you will actually really have fun on. It's very simple. All you got to do is join in on the action where you can run your game. PrizePicks makes it easy to do this, where you select the player that you love. You pick more or less on 2 or more players in any sport, and you can win up to 200 times your entry fee, or even 1,000 with the new promos that they're rolling out. We're having fun over here with it, and I really think that you guys will have fun with it as well. We got another super chat. Let's go ahead and get to it. It's by Superman Real. Superman Real said, Pin rates everything off Jokic. Bro, he's not the GOAT. A superstar is one who can affect the game in 6 ways: scoring, rebounding, assists, defense, pace of game, and leadership. From Jet. You can add personality.
Kenny Smith or Jason Terry?
Okay, first of all, I don't rate everything off of Jokic. I rate everything off of Michael
Kenny the Jets, man.
and Bill Russell. Those are the 2 players that I use as my barometer for how great a basketball player you are. So if you care about defense and you care about all this stuff that you talked about, I think Shea is a master of pace. Master.
I agree.
Controls the pace very, very well. And to me, a superstar is a player who puts their imprint on the game. That's the value of a Kobe. That's the value of a D Wade in his prime. That's the value of Tracy McGrady, all those guys. They dictate the game that you're playing. Even when you're on the other team, they're dictating how you're playing, how quickly you're playing, when the game slows down. They're just masterfully like threading the needle. And they're like, the thing that Jordan complained about yesterday, like basketball players today, they don't have the IQ, they don't understand the game. That stuff, they're the chess movers, the greatest players of all time. They're all like the big time chess movers. They see everything before it's happening. Shea sees things way before they're happening, man. And he has great vision for the game. I just feel like people don't rate him very well. And I'm curious as to why. I have a couple of theories. Number one, he wasn't the most highly regarded prospect, coming out of high school. I mean, he was hyped, but he wasn't like
Steph, neither was Giannis.
No. Fair enough. And those are fair comparisons. Shea, Steph, Giannis, Jokic, none of these guys got the hype of some of the AAU circuits and even the college circuit. But Steph was a known commodity more so than Shea coming into the league. And he has done the entire body work now. He's got the championships. He's got the fanfare. He also plays in a bigger market. I think that's part of it too. Small market stars often get dismissed. I think OKC is a very small market team. I don't see a lot of people trying to watch them. And, it's funny, like when you look at the tickets at your local, check your OKC tickets. That's one thing I'll say. Check your OKC tickets. Are they pricey? They're usually not very pricey. And they're such a good team, but they're not very pricey. Is Shea not marketable enough? Does he not draw enough attention to himself? Does he not stay in the news cycle enough? Is he too team first?
Well, isn't everything
that was a revolution, man.
Like, is it? I mean,
Yeah,
isn't everything cheaper in Oklahoma?
I mean,
No. I'm saying
if-
check OKC coming to your city. Those
So
games
how
are
are-
cheap. Like the OKC versus Toronto game, that was cheap. I was like, yo, I'm seeing a perennial MVP candidate, one of the best teams in the league. This should be premium price. It wasn't.
not down here
It's
in
way
Miami.
more expensive to see LeBron James right now. It's
Mhm.
way more expensive to see Steph Curry. So I think the difficulty with this is every kid wanted to be Steph. I don't know a single kid who's trying to be Shea other than some Canadian kid in the burbs, right?
Yeah.
It's just different. Like the marketing around Steph was like, he's like one of the most popular athletes of all time. With Steph and Kobe, you are literally talking about players that every kid wanted to be like. I wanted to be like Kobe. I think every player who played hoops in 2005 wanted to be like Kobe, trying to mimic his moves. I don't think I've ever thought about trying to be like Steph. Trying to be like Shea. You know what I mean? It's just, he's not nearly that popular, but he's very good.
He's also
does
not nearly
everything.
that good, if we're being honest. But...
He's not that good. Okay, my bad. All right.
As
So,
Bryant.
Steph and Kobe? No.
As Bryant. No, he's not.
Nah, that's why I said, hey, what is it? Relative to the competition? Yeah,
Yes.
Shea's good, but
As
when
Bryant,
you're
no.
comparing him to Kobe and Steph and LeBron and these
No,
guys,
he's not
all-time
that
greats,
good. No.
it turns out he's at the bottom of the list. I guess he's trash. Like, no,
And
he's
a lot of
really,
those-
really good. When you compare him to the league today, he's really, really good. Top 5. I think everyone up here have Shea as a top 5 player or around that conversation.
Yeah, yes, sure.
Okay,
Yes.
we all rate Shea really highly. But when you
Mhm.
start saying he better than the best Steph ever was, that's when people gonna disagree with you. Doesn't mean we're
Mhm.
lower on Shea. It just means you're just higher on Shea than
Or Jason Kidd.
all of us.
And it
Yeah,
also
they
takes and it also takes time to build up to that. Like, how long has Shea been really? How long has Shea been nice?
Chill. This is going on 3 years of 30 plus. This is
Okay.
going on 3 years of this team
Yep.
being very good. This is going
Right.
on 3 years of him playing at a first team level. Like
Yep.
Shea has put in his work.
With-
Undoubtedly, we know who
Okay,
Shea
hang
is, and he still can technically get better.
3
He's
years
25.
ago, he finished 5th in MVP voting. Last year, he finished 2nd in MVP voting.
Right.
This year,
He could win.
he'll be
could
top
win it.
3.
He
He'll
could
be
win
top
it.
3.
Sure.
Okay, so that's we're at least talking like his peak is up there with at least Scottie Pippen. Can we give him that? You know,
Bucks.
I think so. Yes.
Steph and Kobe also played in finals very early in their career, so they were on a super big stage, and that gave them a lot of fanfare early on,
That's true.
especially for
Very
Kobe.
true.
Especially for Kobe. And Steph was in the finals against LeBron James. Like, that's one of the 2 most popular basketball players ever.
And beat him 3 times.
Mhm.
A little bit. KD.
He did. Like, you can say
He did beat them, but you know.
yeah. But yeah, I think Steph's better than Shea. Damn, how quick they forget, man. Shea go watch, not Shea.
I
Steph
feel
go
like
watch
this
that
is
now, man.
definitely recency bias.
Oh, 100%
It's
it is.
not
We
recency
I don't know what I would
do.
call it, but I think it's wrong.
We did the same thing with Shaq in 2000. Is Shaq better than Jabbar? Is Shaq better than Chamberlain in 2000 and 2001? He's better than Chamberlain. He's better than Jabbar. He's better than Bill Russell. We did the same thing with him. Same thing we did with Jordan in 88 and 89. He's better than Doc. So when guys play at this level for an extended period of time, it's natural for people to compare them to other all-time greats. Now, we got to be realistic about it, because as good as Shea is, people forget how good Steph Curry was in 2015, how good he was in 2016, how good he was in 2017. They forget that because we wrapped up in what's going on right now with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, Steph Curry had at that time, which let's make sure we're clear, guys, the Golden State Warriors in 15-16. I think if they played today, I think their offense is rated last in the league today. If they played today, I know that sounds ridiculous, but Steph Curry had at that point the greatest offensive season in the masses ever. That includes Chamberlain going 50 and 26. That includes Jordan going 33, 8 and 8 in 1989. That includes Shaq in going 30 and almost 15 in 2000. Steph Curry's 15-16 season was considered the best offensive season in NBA history. And people forget how good he was because of what a guy like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is doing right now.
I don't think you got memories, man. I think you got memories of memories.
What do you mean?
Memories are rewritten every single time we remember them. So there's certain things like when you listen to somebody say movies were better in my day or movies were better when I was a kid. It's like,
Sure.
yeah, because you're forgetting all the shitty ones, right? Moments are better when you move away from them, when you recontextualize them, when Kevin Harlan and all those people have a place in, you know, they can perspectivize it in history and say, oh, this is what this thing meant, this is what that thing meant. It's difficult to change people's minds about something, anything new being better than anything old. There's always this rough transition period. Yes, it was rough to convince people that Michael Jordan was better than Larry Bird and better than Magic Johnson because those two had just finished carrying the league for an entire decade. And how dare you say that this upstart loser from Chicago who's never won a championship is better than them? But he was better than them. He was doing everything better than them. He just hadn't won his championships yet. So he had to go win 6. Does Shea need to win 4 championships before you can put him in Kobe conversations? For most people, yes. But for me, I don't view championships as a singular achievement of one player. That's it.
I never really bought into the ideology. You know, if this guy wins another championship, is he here? Well, you already think that he that anyway. Why does another
Kobe had a
change?
player that was better than him on his first 3 championships. And I don't think Shea is going to have a player better than him on his first 2 championships. And yes, I do think the OKC Thunder are going to win championships.
I think they are too.
You think Jokic is better than Giannis, right?
Yep.
So if Jokic goes to Milwaukee and they run all 4, are you going to say Giannis had 4? He won 4 championships with a player better than him?
See,
Doesn't matter.
this is just
Giannis
trash,
is still better than SGA.
trash logic. First of all, 2000,
That's the logic you just
2001.
gave me. You just gave me that same trash logic. I gave it back to you. Now all of it. When you gave it to me, it was a treasure. I gave it back to you. Now it's trash.
Well, you ruined it, Ron. You
When it comes out your mouth, all of a
Ron,
sudden
you tainted it.
I'm pretty
Ron.
sure he
You-
just asked you
you
the same question.
You
like,
defiled it,
what you
Ron.
said.
You tainted and defiled it.
you
and now
ain't
it's
say it as
That ain't the only
eloquently,
thing
Ron.
I
That's the
defiled
problem.
today.
Yeah.
You gotta say
pretty
it
sure
more
he's
than
just
say
asking
it more than
for
say it.
Kobe-
Hold on. The first version of Kobe that won a championship, could he have won it as the best player on his team?
No.
The first
Depending on the team,
No.
yes.
No.
Depending on the
No.
team,
Get
yes.
out of here,
In
man.
Depending on the
Ron.
team, yes.
Get out of
2000
here.
Kobe Bryant is not the man on any
Yeah,
championship
2000.
team.
I
He
don't
cannot be the best
No,
player.
he's not.
Oh, okay, all right,
No.
all right. I will give you 2000. After
Okay.
that,
Ron,
yes,
you don't
No.
know, Ron, because you don't remember. Your memories are rewriting your memories, and you think you remember something you don't. He wasn't who you think he is.
I'm just saying, if I went around the league and I picked and I put a very good team around 2001
thank you for
Kobe,
voicing the
yes.
casual.
Of course,
Thanks
man.
voicing the casual.
That's
take,
what I'm here
man.
for, bro. That's what I'm here for.
That's exactly what you're here
That's
for.
what I'm here for, bro.
Comic
God
relief.
damn. Can we
'Cause you're
please?
certainly
please,
not here
please,
for your basketball take.
Please. I'm so tired of this shit. Bro.
Considering what
Please.
we're talking about right now.
Oh my god.
But all right, so we're gonna move off of Shea, Kobe, and everybody else that we've been talking about. Let's get back to the current NBA. Mars, we were talking about threes earlier and how many threes the teams get up. I want to bring this to you guys' attention and update it that as of right now, these are the number of three-point attempts per game by the top 10 teams. We got the Celtics at number 1 with 51, the Bulls at number 2 with 43.5, the Hornets at number 3 with 43.1, Warriors, as you would expect, they're top 4, number 4 with 41.2, and the Timberwolves are 5 with 40.6. And you can see the remaining teams on here. These are the top 10 teams and what they're getting up.
It's interesting that the Heat are in the top 10 in the league in threes attempted. I think they also in the top 10 in the league in threes made too. Yet they got one of the worst offenses in the game.
Is the offense bad this year?
Yeah, it's not that good.
Let me see.
I think a couple of days.
Ninth ain't bad. Ninth is good for
When did
Miami.
they move into the top
They've
10? This was
been on a little run.
That's probably why, Mars, because last week they were like 24, like maybe a week and a half ago. They were like 24, 23, something like that.
Yeah, they're ninth now. So yeah,
So they got a top
Miami's
so
just
they're moving-
slowly just figuring things out, which is why the Jimmy Butler news is interesting considering the timing. But
They don't want to pay him. That's what the problem is.
There's no way they can get off of him.
Yeah.
The teams that want him, there's no reason for them to get him. Or at least unless you're Golden State, but I don't think Golden State the Jimmy Butler.
And what
trade.
did what would Golden State have to give up to
They
get
would
Butler?
have to give up like B pods, maybe Kaminga, a couple. No, I don't know if they're gonna give up.
I'd give up both of them in a heartbeat.
I
For Jimmy
would-
Butler?
I wouldn't even- yes, I wouldn't even
100%.
think
I would
of
not.
that.
Yeah, no, Pajimski is a
No,
win
no.
just
I
by no
don't
longer
think
having
that
Pajimski on the team.
They were definitely overvaluing Brandon Pajimski in the offseason when they weren't trying to trade for Larry Martin.
Mhm.
But I don't think that trading for Jimmy. But how old is he? 35. He needs a
35.
player option.
Yeah.
Player option for $52 million. I get you have to make the most of Steph Curry's end of his career. He's like what 36. But at
Yeah,
the end of the
37 when
day,
the playoffs start.
the CBA, it's too confusing. I was trying to get in the trade machine last night to see if Jimmy Butler trades would work, LeBron James trades would work. But the CBA is just so confusing. There's no reason they should handicap their roster. I think they should wait till the offseason, let this team rock out how it rocks out, maybe make a trade for like Walker Kessler, Nick Richards, improve your center depth and stuff like that. But I don't think they should make a trade for Jimmy Butler or LeBron.
I don't think when your best player is 600 years old, I don't think you can just use a season and be like, yeah, we'll be back next year. I don't think you have that luxury. So that's why I think Golden State either have to make a move to contend, or they just have to call it.
So LeBron James or Jimmy Butler, who would you rather them trade for? If let's say the deals are there, LeBron James or Jimmy Butler, who would you rather the Warriors trade for?
James would just be for box office. That's
It
what
would
he
be.
would be for more than any.
I'd
It
rather
wouldn't
get
be
LeBron
because
you take him away from the Lakers.
But
fair.
then you have a black hole on defense. LeBron James is terrible at defense.
I
think that's
agree.
LeBron James is terrible at defense this year. I would hate that for the Warriors.
Penn, he has not been. Penn, can you agree
I
that
don't
he
think the
has
Warriors
not been
defense
very
is the
good
problem. The Warriors are a
defensively
good
this
defense.
season?
Offense
Of
is
course, I
great.
agree. He
You
has
got
not
LeBron,
been
that's
very
fine.
good.
He has
but
not
I
been good,
definitely
man.
don't agree
I
with
think
you
they
saying
need-
he's bad.
At
He's not.
defense,
He's not.
he doesn't even play defense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He does not even play defense.
He's been bad on defense. If you want to say he's capable of being better, that's fine. But he's been bad. But I don't think the Warriors' defense is a problem. And I think LeBron is smart enough to understand his role within a scheme. So I think he wouldn't.
I think he fits really well with the Warriors. And
And then
if
offensively,
the
he
question is
helps
this:
them a lot.
who's better? Who's a better player, Jimmy Butler or LeBron James right now?
LeBron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LeBron.
And who's
Yeah,
better?
I would go for
who's
LeBron
better for the
many
Warriors?
reasons.
One
One of them is taken away from the Lakers.
If
That
I
would
had
not
to
make
pick
sense.
one, I would still pick LeBron, but just based on their contracts, LeBron James has a.
And I get Bronny as well. So that's a bonus.
I mean, you can sell a couple jerseys, but
You
I
think
don't know.
James got a terrible contract? He comes off the books after the season.
I mean, does he come off the books after this? year?
Yes.
Yeah,
This
'cause he
is
had
a
a-
1-year deal. That's it.
Yeah, I think
He
so.
comes
He,
off the
he
books
only
after
signs
this
1
year.
year.
And you're getting them at a pro rate. You're not getting them at 52 million. Remember, half the season's over if you trade them at the deadline. So you're getting them for half that.
I mean,
that's
not that.
Listen,
not that
listen,
it-
brother. You are not in the minority. I'm looking at the CBA and I'm like, what the hell is this?
I don't know. Like I get in the trade
What's
machine because
going
LeBron James becomes
What's
eligible
confusing?
for trade on the 15th.
What's
the hell
confusing
is
about the
this?
CBA?
Second
not,
apron,
not,
and
not that
then-
not that it not that it really
Second
matters.
apron?
Not that it really matters though, chill. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care. Not that it matters. I mean, obviously we'll talk a whole lot of shit about it. But how does the league, how do the fans, how do the media respond to LeBron James going to the Golden State Warriors?
They're gonna hate it.
Oh, absolutely.
LeBron
Is
can't.
that-
LeBron
is
has
that-
to be conversation. That's what I'm at with it.
Does that like take part in this trade happening and not happening? Because I personally don't think it's gonna happen. I'm positive it's not gonna happen. But
Yeah.
like,
Well,
you
first of
know
all,
what I'm saying?
him going to Golden State, it will only be for one reason, and one reason only. That's to try to win an NBA championship. And that's where the bucket of hate is gonna get poured on him because you're still chasing him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's 40 years old. Ray Allen did it. He was chasing championships at that age. I can appreciate that. But to do it there and to do it with him, no.
But
Absolutely.
will that put him in championship contention going to get LeBron
No,
James?
it doesn't. No, it does
I
not.
think
That's the
that's-
hope. I'm not saying it would. I still
It would
think
be the
they're worse than
hope,
okay.
sure, but I
But that would be the
don't
goal,
think
yeah.
James pushes them, especially considering what they would have to. Don't think for 1 second that the Lakers are handing over James to Golden State for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack. No, that's not happening.
Why not? Expiring contract.
Yeah, still got to match
Oldest
the
player
money.
in the
though, Mark.
NBA.
Yeah,
I think it's supposed to ring chase though. Like
I
if
think
I'm in
you
the
are too,
NBA,
to be honest with
I'm
you.
gonna ring chase until the day I retire. Like that's what
I think the only place LeBron James could go that's respectable and makes basketball sense is the Cleveland Cavaliers. But I don't know if that could actually happen. But that would be like the dream scenario. He fits into that 3 spot for the Cavs. They have Evan Mobley and Jared Allen that could cover up for his defensive mistakes. And I think that it makes sense. He's back home in Cleveland. I
As a
think that
free
could work.
agent,
I
You
would
gonna
be
go
fired.
back home again?
I would be fired.
Man,
Third time's a charm.
March, you gonna leave Alabama and go back to London eventually?
I don't think he's going anywhere. To be honest
Never
with you,
mind.
I think
I don't think he's
retiring.
going anywhere, but if he were to go somewhere, I would like to see him go to Cleveland.
I think he's retiring after this season.
Yeah, I'd like to see him just go to the Hall of Fame. I'm tired.
Yeah, that's where I think he's going after this season. But to answer your
He's
question,
gonna-
there would be a dumpster. You know them big giant dumpsters that you see the garbage cans pulling up? That's how big the dumpster is of hate that they're going to pour on him if he ends up going to the Golden State Warriors.
I mean, Bron's used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He's used to it. I don't think it'd be a big deal like that. Hey, I don't think Bron would care.
Then on top of that, a report came out, could be capped, that if he does get traded, they're gonna try to bring Bronny with him. That's gonna
Of course.
fuel to the fire. That's gonna be just way too much for Bron.
Yeah, well, we'll see if LeBron takes the I-5 up north to Golden State or to San Francisco. And we'll see if Jimmy Butler jumps on a red eye across the country up to Northern California too. But as of right now, I got some more three-point news that I want to show you guys. This is three-point shooting, and this is the best, and the worst of this 2024-25 season so far. And we see up top in green the most three-point attempts this year. We got Jason Tatum in the lead at 242, and this was a couple days ago, so it may have shifted, or this was a day ago, so it may have shifted. But we got Jason Tatum with 242, Anthony Edwards with 241, and LaMelo Ball, also top three, with 236. In terms of best three-point field goal percentage, Norman Powell is scorching hot and leads the league with 48.6 from the three-point range. Kyrie Irving is number 2, shooting 47, and Cam Johnson, top 3, scorching the Nets at 43.4% from the three-point range. And these are the worst three-point shooters in the NBA. Damn, Ox. Keegan
Get Keegan
Murray.
Murray. Well, he killing us.
Damn,
Get
Ox
Murray.
Trey Young.
Oh, I'm about to get to him. Yeah, relax. This is what men be talking about when you be emotional.
I don't care if I'm emotional. That's not an insult to me. Hey, Keegan, shoot it till you break it. Let's see.
Tyrese Maxey at 29.3%. He's number 2. And damn, Ron, Trey Young at
Ice Trey.
a whopping 30.
Literally ice. Literally ice tray. Cold as ice.
It was cold as ice.
Yep.
Thoughts on this,
Long
fellas?
ago.
Is it anything that you may want to comment on?
Cam Johnson is awesome.
He is awesome.
LaMelo still being in the top 3 in attempts when he hasn't played in over a week is interesting.
Yeah.
He been getting them up. That's my biggest takeaway.
He
Also,
knew he was going to
Norman
get
Powell
injured,
having a hell of a
so
season.
he just wanted to get them. He wanted to get the
Exactly.
numbers up, right?
Exactly. But Norman
How
Powell's
long is
having
he
a
out of
great
the
season.
lineup?
I think for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been about a week already, so
Yeah.
I don't know. He might be back
maybe-
like December 20 something, I guess, somewhere around there, maybe. I can't remember what else was on the list. Oh, Tyrese Maxey, yeah, he's having a tough time of it. Yeah, that's it really. Tyrese Maxey struggling, but oh well.
I just 242 threes. God,
Chill
Like-
in what, 24 games, 25?
yeah. What is that, like 12?
Yeah,
a
he's
game?
taking like 11 a game. He's taking like Jason Tatum's taking like
11,
11
12 a game.
That is insane.
Which- And that's nuts. Which, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind it if he went to the basket to score more than he went to the basket to get fouled. And you guys know how I feel about Jason Tatum. I mean, when he does go to the basket to score, he finishes with the best of them. But when he goes to the basket looking to get fouled, he just looks real average. And and me as a Jason Tatum guy, it's difficult for me to defend it when I get 6 for 21 nights and 1 for 11 at the long ball line and 8 for 22 at 3 for 12 at the long ball line. It's hard for me to defend that because I know as good a scorer as he is around the rim, he doesn't do that. So it's hard for me to defend that when I have to, but I do my best.
Well, you don't have to defend it.
And
You're not
speaking of LaMelo Ball, if he keeps this up, LaMelo Ball will be the first person to lead the league in three-pointers made, not attempted, but made, other than Steph Curry since the 2011 and 12 season. As of right now, he's making 4.7 threes per game. Steph is making 4.1, and he's 4th in the league right now.
Oh, threes per game. So I was gonna say
gotcha.
Anthony Edwards is leading the league in threes made, but yeah, LaMelo's at 4.
No,
I think he's at like 4.
Did Ant just take him over? Because LaMelo was first at 4.7.
No, yeah, it's in threes per game, LaMelo is first, but Ant is bursting threes made total.
How many is Ant
Himself.
making?
He's
but-
making 4.5 a game, but totally he's made more than LaMelo because he played more games.
Right.
No. Oh, got you. No, never mind.
There you go.
Yeah, these young boys is getting them up. Shout out Ant, shout out Tatum, and shout out LaMelo. This is the new wave.
For sure. Shout out to Tyler Hero as well. Like he wasn't on the list, but he's shooting the hell out of ball this year. Maybe he wasn't wrong when he said he was in them Luka trade conversations. I don't know.
All right, y'all. Another thing that I do want to bring to your attention. I don't know if you guys have tapped into what Ty Lue said about Kawhi, but the report is that Ty Lue said, I've talked to Kawhi nights where he's almost crying, just talking about how he's let his team down and how he wants to get back on the court.
Who would have
Is
thought
this
a
the
guy
same-
who's really good at basketball, loves playing basketball?
Mars, don't
Yeah.
act like it ain't dudes that's really good at basketball who couldn't care less about being there. There's plenty of
And
these
if you
dudes
and if
in
you
the
think
league that
Kawhi
are
was one of
awesome.
them, then that's on you. You think Kawhi was one of them?
I don't think he was. No, I don't.
Okay.
But a lot of people do think that.
Yeah, but there's a lot, and on top of that, there's a lot of guys in the league who are awesome at basketball who couldn't care less. This is a job. I'm the last one in practice. I'm the first one out. So there's guys in the league that didn't really care much about playing at that level. They just were there.
Zion, Ben Simmons
No, you said guys who are.
in the league.
Why are you saying Ben Simmons? I'm talking about awesome
Ben Simmons was an All-Pro, Mars.
I'm talking about now in the league right now.
Who is in the league today that
Who's
couldn't-
really, really like awesome, all NBA level player who doesn't care to be good?
Zion.
not doesn't care to be good because they are good. I think you
Yeah, but they don't
misinterpreted what
care.
I'm
Like
saying.
they just show up and do whatever. Like they're not trying. Who cares? Who is that? Zion is the answer apparently.
I'm not sure how much Brandon Ingram cares about playing basketball. I'll be lying if I said I
He's
did.
been influenced by Zion.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I
How much.
guess
New Orleans restaurants
I
been
guess
getting
if you
for
I
them.
guess if you play and you look nonchalant, you don't love the game. All right, okay.
It's not Mars. I didn't say high level guy. I said there's plenty of guys who are awesome
Jamal
at
Murray.
basketball.
Boom. There you go.
I
Jamal
said
Murray.
Well, I mean, now it depends how you define awesome.
much
Jamal
time
Murray
is
don't
left.
give a shit about
Okay, I
anything.
think DeAndre Ayton is awesome. I don't think that he cares much about playing.
Oh,
That's
okay. If
great
that's
as
where we're going, then yeah, I
He's
agree.
That's
not
what
good
I
at
think.
basketball.
I think he's
not
awesome.
great.
I don't think he cares much about playing.
But
So
he's not
DeAndre
awesome.
Ayton is awesome, then sure, okay. I
Who
didn't
isn't
think that's what
awesome?
we meant.
DeAndre Ayton is awesome.
Huh?
Yusuf Nurkic is awesome. Ivica Zubac's awesome. Everyone's awesome. It's
Nick
great.
Richards is awesome. Mark Williams is awesome. Yeah.
Yep. Facts.
If that's the standard for
Yep.
awesome, then I agree with you. I thought when you said awesome, we were talking
a
about
starter on an
Kawhi
NBA
level
final
players.
team, a
That's what I
double
thought
double.
we
So
were
let me make sure I'm getting y'all. Let me make sure I'm understanding y'all correctly. A starter on an NBA Finals team, a guy who averages a double double, isn't awesome.
I didn't know
Is
that.
that
was
what I'm
the standard
understanding?
that
I
you
just
was
want to make sure I'm
holding
understanding you guys.
for. When someone says awesome, I don't think DeAndre Ayton. Like if that's what you're saying, then I agree with you. If that's the standard, like
Why does
it comes down to how you
averaging a
define the word.
double-double
If you're defining
define awesome?
as DeAndre
He's in the top
Ayton
10.
is an
Okay,
awesome
so-
player, then I agree with you. There are awesome players who probably don't care.
What's
When
the
I hear
adjective
awesome
you would
players,
use to describe DeAndre Ayton?
Kawhi Leonard.
Well, this is what
I
I'm
thought we
saying.
was
Like,
talking about legitimate top 10 level players.
Okay.
Not DeAndre Ayton.
I know
So
that this is
that's
not
on-
the
that's on me
right.
for misunderstanding.
I know that this is not the right context to have this conversation, but I'm gonna try anyway. I'm always gonna try to have the right conversation.
Right.
Do you know that you are far more logical in your second language than you are in your first language? Like if you learn speaking English as a kid, but you learn speaking Mandarin or Serbian or Spanish later in life, if you want to make a decision, like a tough decision, you'll be more rational in your second language than your first language because all ideas are webbed in our minds with something. You grew up in an era where double-double equals great, right? But with stat inflation, double-double for DeAndre Ayton doesn't mean jack shit to me. If he could average 11 points, 11 rebounds, be the worst player in the game. Andre Drummond
he's not
could
doing
average
that though.
17 and 18 and be one of the and be a borderline minimum guy. These things don't matter that much. That's what I'm trying to say.
That before, man, like a guy that's averaging 16 and 16. That's empty.
He wasn't
I mean,
averaging 16 and 16.
Andre Drummond
So-
did. I think Andre Drummond did. I think.
Yeah, he did.
17.
I mean,
and
Rudy
15.
averaged 15 and 15. And don't get me wrong, I
Hey,
know
Ben,
I know what
Question is,
I know what
Hey.
empty stats look like.
Do you think stat inflation equates to your argument over SGA and Kobe, like the new
Oh,
players?
please
No.
don't bring that back up, please.
You think that is, or
moved
No.
on, man.
'cause I
No,
feel like some of the stats nowadays are a little inflated.
DeAndre Ayton's averaging 14 and 10 this year.
I would look at everything per possession, not like looking at the grand total. And double doubles is not a per possession stat. Rebound percentage is a per possession stat. That would be far more interesting to look at, I think. But also, like, the game is so different. There's so many threes, longer rebounds. You know, bigs are just not going to get as many rebounds. I don't hold it against the big to not get as many rebounds. And I don't necessarily think that rebounding from your big is all that relevant when that big is so one-dimensional on both ends. Is DeAndre Ayton like some sort of like great defender? He's
No.
very average.
No, I don't think so.
He's bad now, but like, I mean, for Phoenix, was he kind of average? He was kind of mid, right?
I think he was average.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I think he was average. I think he was a good scorer for that system at 17.
He was very
18
one
a game.
dimensional though. No,
Even if he was one dimensional, Jabbar shot at skyhook. That's what Jabbar was, and he was
this
awesome.
is my point. This is my point. So one dimensionality to you is not a problem because, again, and I'm not trying to say it's because you know you're older than us. It's because you grew up at a time where one dimensional wasn't considered an issue. You get in the block, you do your skyhook over and over, and they can't stop it. So you're great.
It works. Sure,
It works. It wouldn't work
yes.
today. Skyhook doesn't work today. It's not going to be the same thing. You have a completely different court. You have a completely different game, and twos are worth significantly less than threes in today's game. So that element of it is like you can't be that one dimensional anymore.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that too.
You got to be versatile,
and that's fair.
Too.
Yeah, and that is fair. But DeMar DeRozan is still in the league, and a lot of his game is played between 15 and 17 feet.
He's super elite,
and he's still awesome.
But he's not.
So you can still do primarily one thing. That doesn't mean that you don't. That means that you only. That doesn't mean that you only do one thing. But you can still do primarily one thing. DeMar DeRozan lives around 14 to 18 feet. That's where he lives.
Did you see the league executive?
Awesome.
Did you? Okay, I hate this sort of like the unnamed sources. But there was a league executive who came out and said DeMar DeRozan is awesome, but he doesn't impact winning in a significant way.
I did see that. Yes, I did.
I agree with that. I love DeMar. Loved DeMar since USC, Compton High. Loved him. Didn't become the player that I thought he was going to become. But amazing player.
Sure.
Tactician. What you see on the basketball court is a super skilled, the bag work. It's such a complex motion of how DeMar scores. What I see is a guy who can be stopped in the clutch. What I see is a guy who, when defenses tighten up, his percentages drop 10%. So as good as DeMar is, he will never touch the Paul Pierce conversation for me.
Sure.
It was just a different level of execution in the clutch and execution against tight defenses.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like you could become a top 30 scorer of all time.
Right.
It's not moving me. Well, there's guys that you passed on longevity. I'm never going to put you in the same conversation as a Tracy McGrady. You could score 10,000 points more than Tracy McGrady. He scored way better than DeMar DeRozan. So it's just the physical limits of DeMar DeRozan. I think it's just the physical limits of and mental limits of DeAndre Ayton.
Right. Now with everything that you just said, I feel the same way about DeAndre Ayton. Like, he could be slowed down. I think he's soft in some areas. I think he could be a better rebounder. I think that he can score the basketball better than he actually does. That doesn't take away from the fact that, one, I do think when he does play, he's awesome, but I don't think that he cares as much about the game. I think he's there. I think he's there to collect the paycheck, and I think that he's out afterwards. I don't think that he cares nearly as much.
What percentage of players would you say are like that? You've been around the game for a while. What percentage?
All time or just right now?
No, right now.
I think in today's game, it's more than I know, off the strength that there's more going on. See, when I was younger and a lot of less gray hairs, your game was what you had to stand on. I think that a lot of these guys today, that's not what they're concerned with. I think they're concerned with other things more than it is their game. I think their game is just a part of their job. And I think that with that being part of their job, they don't really care as much about the game more than they do about what the game brings. Ben Simmons is a prime example of that.
50%. Would you say it's around 50% of the league kind of just treats it like a job?
More than 30. I'll say around between 35 and 40%.
I talked to a coach who said it was probably more than 50. Some guys hide it very well. Some guys are, just not at a position where they can let that out, but you can see it in their work that they just don't care that much.
All right, so
DeAndre Ayton isn't awesome. I'm just.
He's not bad, Moss. He's not. He doesn't suck.
He sucks.
No, he
I'm
doesn't.
gonna continue
Moss.
to keep the conversation moving though, because there's a few other things I want to touch on, and then we got to talk just a bit about the 2 games that we have tonight. Also, NBA Cup games with a lot of implications and 2 very good games. But before we do that, hello, Penn. Davion Mitchell had some things to say just the other day. Davion said that he's the best defender in the NBA. He said, quote, and I quote, "I love the defensive end. I feel like I'm the best defender in our league, honestly. Off ball or on ball, I just feel that's who I am."
I said this to Ox yesterday.
Live your truth, Davion. Live your truth.
I said this to Ox yesterday that I feel like this is a great time for other guys to be in the league because we so wrapped up in guys shooting the long ball. We're so wrapped up in guys wanting to score that the other guys, the guys who dive on the floor for loose balls, the guys who are defenders, the guys who are rebounders, those are the guys who can stamp themselves in today's game. Because all these other dudes, all they think that in order to stick around, I got to be able to shoot the long ball. No, you're going to play 12 years because I play defense. I'm going to play 12 years because I'm
not playing 12 years in the NBA because you play defense anymore.
Would Andre Roberson last 12 years in today's NBA?
No.
There's no way he has to be able to learn how to shoot.
I don't think Tony Allen would last 12 years.
That's the perfect
in the NBA
example.
today.
He plays defense. He hustles. He dies on the floor.
Yep.
That man can't do anything on offense. Would he play 12 years in today's episode?
Okay.
In today's,
when you say you are the best defender in the NBA and you're not one of the 50 best defenders in the NBA, I have to ask, what the hell are you doing? Okay. For real, let's not even be too disrespectful.
Sure.
Stop me when I get to a defender who is not better than Davion Mitchell. Okay. Jaren Jackson Jr., Anthony Davis. No one yet. Rudy Gobert, Herb Jones, Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaac, Drew Holiday, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Alex Caruso, Jalen Williams, Jaylen Brown, Cason Wallace, Victor Wembanyama. Ain't no one stopped me yet. OG Anunoby, Keon Ellis, Dyson Daniels, Jason Tatum, Scotty Barnes, Walker Kessler. Stop me whenever I get something wrong. Joel Embiid, Amen Thompson, his twin brother, Asar Thompson, Bilal Coulibaly, Lou Dort.
Ho.
Lou Dort? Bilal?
No, rewind.
Bilal?
We're talking about Davion Mitchell?
No,
Yeah.
but yeah, Davion Mitchell. Is Coulibaly a better defender than Davion Mitchell?
Hell yes, he is.
I didn't think that was a conversation. But if you want to have the conversation, I'll have the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, so just table Bilal Coulibaly as the one debate you need to have.
Okay.
Lou Dort, Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren, Tamani Kamara, Franz Wagner, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Tari Eason, Bam Adebayo, Denny Avdia, Peyton Watson, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Dylan Brooks,
George, nah. But keep going.
Jaden McDaniels. Okay, so the conversations that you want to have are Bilal Coulibaly and Paul George. Does not stop the fact that I named damn near 40 players. I named like 40 players, and I don't even think I got.
What's wrong with the player having confidence in his game?
Jonathan Mobo, Ryan Dunn. I can keep going, man.
Yeah, but say, I mean, everyone, because I mean, what is it that players say? Every time I step out on the floor, I believe I'm the best. Like, it's a mentality you gotta have. Like, I don't care what Davion.
Yeah, but when Jordan Poole says it, you get mad, don't you?
He know he wrong too, Moss. He know that. He doesn't believe in
Jordan Poole knows.
Kyle Kuzma says you can't talk about basketball history until you talk about me. We get mad. We get really mad when Kyle Kuzma talks that shit. We're like, yo, bro, wear your freaking long sweater. Shut the hell up.
I was a starter. I was a starter on the team.
I don't care what. Players can, like, when a player says they're the best or something, like, I don't care. Like, you have to say that.
Like Jared McCain.
No, you don't.
Yeah, Jared McCain said he's like, I believe.
If you want to make it to the highest level, you have to go into everything thinking you're the best every time.
The context.
Davion goes out there thinking he's the best defender because that's what he gets paid to do. He gets paid to play defense, so he has to think he's the best defender the world has ever seen. That's just what he has to do. I don't care that he believes it. I know I don't believe it. I know I disagree with him. But
Cool.
I'm not going to waste my time proving him wrong. I think the whole world knows he ain't the best defender
There's
in the league. I
probably
think
like-
all of us up here know he ain't the best. But he's
There's
going to
prob-
believe that whether or not
I don't
we say
think he's
it's
the
wrong or
best
not.
D Mitchell in the league.
Well,
That's fine. But Davion's going to think he's better than Donovan Mitchell on defense. He probably thinks he's better than Donovan Mitchell on offense too. That's probably what he thinks. Like, in order to make it to this level where you're in a group of only the top 450 players in the league, you have to think you're better than everyone. Like, I'm sure Malachi Flynn was in the league thinking he could give everyone 30 if he had the opportunity. I'm sure he thought that. I'm sure Killian Hayes was in the league thinking, hey, if I had the opportunity, I'm 25-8. I'm sure that's what he thought. Like, if you're gonna make it to be at the highest level of your profession, you have to be kind of delusional.
Wait,
And,
Mars,
some
you're
guys
saying,
are like Giannis. Giannis can be like, I think I'm the best, and it's like technically you're
Mars, you're saying that Donovan Mitchell is a better defender than Davion too?
I don't care either way. I'm saying Donovan
Well, I
probably
mean,
thinks
just-
he's better than Davion. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Donovan,
I'm just
Donovan thinks he's better than
curious.
Davion. Davion thinks he's better than Donovan. It doesn't.
Right, but I'm not talking about what these guys think. I don't care what they think. I'm just saying, like, as far as defense goes, you got Donovan Mitchell over Davion Mitchell.
Mars, to answer your question,
On the ball, no. Overall value. No, I think Davion's the better defender, if I'm being honest. I think Davion's probably the better defender. He just doesn't get to make as much of an impact because he's not good enough to stay on the court that long. But
Ron, really
that's
quickly,
offensive issues more so.
and I want to stay here, but Ron, really quickly, you said that Roberson is over in Europe. What does this game look like?
He's
better shooter?
You know, in Europe, yeah, he's definitely a better shooter right now.
Yeah.
Europe's a little different. They don't play an NBA style game. It's more
Sure.
team oriented in the offense and all of that. Even
Right.
defensively,
Right.
he's not tasked to just lock this one person down. He's more so
Right.
over there playing team defense. So he looks a lot different. But what I will say about just on the offensive end is he is a competent floor spacer now. And I mean, he finishes around the hoop, but he kind of always did that. So I mean, that's the one thing that's just different about his game is he will knock down that three.
And I
He
think
shot
that
52% from three this season.
right, Mars. So I'm thinking to myself, if he
Not the
played
same-
in
not
today's
the same
game,
three-point
that's
line.
something that he would have
Yeah,
to
and he's taking
implement.
less than 2 a game. But
And I think that in today's game, that's because playing with Kevin Durant, playing with Russell Westbrook, right, playing with those guys, that wasn't something. The three-ball revolution hadn't and it barely started. So I think in today's game, that's something that he would have to put in his game. I don't think that's something that he would have to shoot 7, 8, 9 threes. No, but he'd have to be a respectable shooter in order to in order to be in the league today.
that's
and
the
I think
point.
that's
You
something.
said you don't have to be. You said
No,
you
I didn't
could
say
have a
that.
12-year career playing defense and rebounding and hustling. That's why we
100%.
disagreed. Now
And
you're saying
you
he
can-
has to shoot.
And
That's
you can add that to your game. 100% you can add that to
But
your
you
game.
can't stay around
However,
if you don't.
However, that's my point, Mars. My point is that these guys are paying a lot of attention to people who all they do is just shoot the long ball. These other guys who also shoot the long ball, which I didn't add, these other guys who can also add that to their game, like Pat Beverly, who actually was able to knock down a shot, but also was primarily a dirty work guy, primarily a defender. Marcus Smart, who was a dirty work guy, who did add the long ball to his game, who did add jump shooting to his game. And I feel like a guy like Andre Roberson, who is primarily a defender, who is primarily a dirty work guy, can add a jump shot to his game, a respectable jump shot, and still be a primary defender and play 12, 13 years in the league.
Is Matisse
How many
Thybulle a better
players- how
defender
many
right now
players are
than
in the
Davion
league who
Mitchell?
just shoot.
Is Matisse Thybulle a better defender than Davion Mitchell right now?
I think so.
How are we even thinking about this? Yes,
'Cause
of course he
I
is.
think Matisse has fallen off a cliff defensively. That's why. But
Back to what you said, Marge.
Matisse is probably better, but I don't think Matisse is that good anymore. But how many players are in the league who just shoot? Like they don't do anything else. Like, there's maybe like one on like half the teams. There's not many just shooters around anymore. Steve Novak does not have a job in the NBA. Like
Luke
those guys
Kennard
don't
does.
last. Duncan
Luke-
Robinson was going to be out the league if he
Luke
didn't
Kennard does.
develop his game. So there's
Duncan
not,
Robinson's still in the league. And
yeah, but
what did
Duncan Robinson is more than just a shooter.
Well, he
He
added that
drives
stuff to his
closeouts now. He
game.
passed it. Yeah, he added stuff to his game because he wouldn't have stuck around. You don't stick around if you just shoot either. No one sticks around just shooting.
was getting
You have
rid
to-
And I don't
Really
think that
smooth
you
Duncan
st- and I
Robinson,
don't
that's
think
a
that
good
you and I don't think that you just stick around if you are a defender and a rebounder. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that I feel like that's your way in because everybody is doing that other stuff. I can defend, I can rebound, and I can add the jump shooting to my game later on.
Chill, you're
How long
essentially
of a
talking
leash-
about Ryan
How long
Hood.
of a leash are those guys getting?
It's
though?
the,
That's exactly what I'm talking
it's
about.
That's what happened with Ryan Hood. That's what I'm
the
talking about.
shooters
His shooting
add
came
the
around
other areas
sooner.
to their game. The shooters add the extra playmaking, or they become better defenders. And then the non-shooters who do the rebounding and defense stuff, they add the shot. All you're saying is role players in general are becoming more well-rounded. That's what you're saying.
But if
The
Andre
guys who can't
Roberson-
shoot have to develop jump shots, and the guys who can only shoot have to develop their all-around game.
The
Ultimate.
Why do we act
end-
like
the
players
ultimate
don't play
outcome is
defense
the role
today?
players in general are more well-rounded than ever. That's really what.
Yeah, why are
I
we
agree.
acting like players don't play defense? I just listed out like 50 really good, almost 50 really good defenders. It's like probably 100 that I didn't name that are pretty decent on that end. Like players do play defense. Offense is just way more complicated. Like the effective defense is only as good as the offense that you're playing, right? That makes sense. So if you have a really great defender and a better offensive player, like it doesn't like the other day. It was Shea versus, ironically, Davion Mitchell in the post, and everyone clipped this. Shea just going right over him on a turnaround. That's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Doesn't mean Davion's a bad defender because he couldn't stop that. So that's what I'm saying. Like offense has just gotten so good that defense does not look as good, and I think the rules are also impacting that as well. But I don't necessarily think it's like, oh, everybody just forgot how to play defense, or no one wants to play defense no more.
What rules are impacting that in your opinion?
Some of the foul baiting in general that's been around for the last 4 or 5 years, where you can't even breathe on a guy and you just get like,
Is that the rules though? Because they've kept trying to change it. Like I think they've changed that rule. They've changed.
They've been
some
trying
of
to
the foul
attack
baiting stuff
that
like
for
3
a long
times
time.
in the last 5 years. It just keeps. Is that the rules problem? Is it are the rules too ambiguous? Like, what do you think the solution is?
I think there's a foul on almost every single NBA play. If you really broke it down, like
Mhm.
by the letter of the law, there's a foul on almost every single play. There's a moving screen. There's probably a travel somewhere. Someone shifts a pivot foot. So it's just like, I think that you have left it in the ref's hands to pick and choose what they're going to decide to do. And if you want to be safe, you just don't do anything.
Fellas, we got to move on, though.
Mhm.
I want quick predictions for tonight's game. First game, we got the Atlanta Hawks in New York facing the Knicks. Who do we have tonight? Who will be advancing to Vegas? I'm going to just go around the room right quick. Mars, talk to me. Who you got?
The Knicks.
Penn, who you got?
Atlanta.
Chill, who you got?
Atlanta.
Spiller, who you got?
Knicks.
Ox, who you got?
Knicks.
Ron, who you got? All right, the next game we got is the Warriors are going down to Houston and playing the Rockets.
Y'all gotta
Mars.
eventually beat them, Mars. It can't stay this way.
It
can't.
will stay. I got the
15
Warriors.
straight
I
losses.
I got the
can't.
Warriors.
Yo, they
I
own
got-
us.
I
Can
got
we
the
get one
Warriors.
win? What is the deal?
This is
I got
going to
the
be
Warriors.
the biggest game Jalen Green, Alfred Sengun, Jabari Smith have ever played in the NBA.
Alfred Sengun
career.
is questionable for tonight, so he might not even play.
Oh,
But
yeah. If he
I
doesn't
got
play,
the
they're
Warriors.
cooked.
It's over.
cooked regardless. But I got the Warriors.
It's hard to beat a team 16 straight times, though. That's hard. I think the Rockets.
They're
get it
gonna
done.
do it. Like no matter
I think
how
the
hard
Rockets
it
get
is.
it done tonight. If Sengun plays, the Rockets will win.
Okay, like Looney.
They're gonna live up to the moment, bro.
Penn, who you rocking with tonight?
Rockets.
Rockets. All right. Spiller, you said you got the Rockets?
I got the Rockets.
Okay, but no Sengun. You obviously got the Warriors.
Oh, if Sengun doesn't play, the Warriors are gonna win. I mean, I just think that I'm banking on a good Jalen Green game. He's had a roller coaster season, but I've seen him drop 41. Then I see him drop 9 the next game, and I feel
You know his career average against the Warriors is 29% from the field, right?
I don't matter.
Garbage.
You
It's-
know he's
it's
never
trash.
scored.
That means he's
It
due.
don't matter.
That
He's
means he's
due.
due.
He's due.
He scored 20 against the Warriors once in his career.
But to drop 60.
This is gonna be the biggest
Okay.
game of his career. National TV.
Okay.
He's gonna wear a nice little outfit pregame. He's gonna be feeling good.
He's gonna be 5 for 18 tonight.
Don't let Sengun not play. He might go for 50.
He's going to be
All
18
I know
for
is Jalen
5,
Green.
Mars.
You better go less than 19. Hey,
18.
have a great game. Go less than 19.
He's gonna go less than 19. That's
He's
a
not gonna be
gimme.
less than 19. He's
That's
not
a
gonna-
gimme. He scored above 19 against the Warriors twice in his life.
That's
He's
nice.
going less than 19.
I don't know how y'all parlay did last night, but imagine losing it on Isaiah Hartenstein assists. But Bobby Portis came through for you.
Shout out to Bobby Portis, man. Bobby Portis
No,
was nice.
Bobby
I mean,
Portis came
three
through
assists.
for me.
How many
Four
assists did Hartenstein
assists.
have last night?
3.
How
He
many
had 3.
assists? Oh yeah, 3.
Are y'all just out on Jalen Green?
This
Against the
dude
Warriors, I'm absolutely.
I've been
Against
out
the
on
Warriors,
Jalen
yes.
Green. I started out.
Pen was never in.
How do y'all feel about Jalen Green? Like just his projection for this season? Just
Talk to this dude. Don't talk to any of us.
How do you feel, Mars? Because it seems like you just like you're done with him.
You've given up on him,
when
Mars.
he plays trash against the Warriors. I'm saying tonight he's gonna be trash. I think in general, I think he's still got potential. I think he's had a bad
Potential to be what?
A really good player. I think he has the potential to be one of the best perimeter scorers in the NBA. I just doubt he will, but I think he has the potential to do that. But I think this season has just been bad. It's been up and down. If I wanted to cap for him, I could say he was dealing with an illness, and his worst stretch of basketball came while he was dealing with the illness. But if I want to be realistic, he's a bad shooter who struggles to create separation off the bounce and has no real in-between game to go to. And he's weak.
But he has that aura. He has aura.
But when it comes down to making highlight plays, he leads the league in that. He's gonna be bad tonight. I'm guaranteeing
he got the 2K aura badge.
I can assure you Jalen Green will have a bad game tonight.
It's official, Mars. No question about it.
I can guarantee he will be bad.
I have one thing about the in-season tournament that I absolutely just hate. I don't like how they do group play. I think that the NBA already had divisions. I think it would be way cooler. I don't know if y'all have ever touched on this topic before, but the group play every single year, the brackets like change and it's 6 groups of 5 teams. If they just did divisions, like the Dallas Mavericks and the Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs, like the NFL would have like beef every single year. Imagine if the Lakers and the Warriors every single year could just know that to get to the in-season tournament championship, you have to go through the Warriors. For the Boston Celtics, for the Boston Celtics to get to the in-season tournament championship, you have to beat the Sixers. You have to beat the Knicks that are all in your same division. You already had 6 groups of 5 teams already. Why would you change it? I didn't know what the groups were this year. But if I was a Rockets fan, that I know I have to get through Luka this year. If I'm a Lakers fan, I know I have to get through Steph this year. Even if there are going to be bad divisions, like the NFL, the Eagles and the Cowboys hate each other all the time. And that creates fanfare every single season, even if they're bad.
I think they're trying to differentiate it from the playoffs.
But why though?
They do it based on
because
rankings.
it's its own thing. Because when you're gonna something, you cannot have the play-in tournament become, or sorry, the in-season tournament become the mini playoffs or the pre-playoffs. So they do everything from the marketing standpoint. They call it a cup. They're trying to lean into their European following and their international following. Because
what does that mean for me as a fan?
But you don't matter as a fan because you're American.
What?
That's what I'm sorry to tell you that, but this is not targeted towards a largely American audience.
If they really wanted people
targeted towards a global audience.
If they really
was targeted towards a global audience, the games wouldn't be on at 3 a.m. in Europe. But
if they really wanted people to get into the regular season early, if Celtics fans or whoever you're a fan of the Toronto Raptors had a rival, a genuine rival every single season, that no matter if the Charlotte Hornets are not going to make the playoffs this season, what if they mess around and win a couple of games against the teams in their division, their local teams, and win the in-season tournament championship? That's something that the Charlotte Hornets fans could actually care about. Because right now, I don't care about LaMelo Ball getting 5. I don't care about Jalen Brunson getting 5. What is that going to do for me? Get a banner?
Once again,
what is that going to do for me as a fan?
But again, you do not represent like the entire fan base of the NBA, the entire audience of the NBA. The NBA has a very global fan base. A lot of people, first of all, basketball is not the most popular sport in the world. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world. Right. Soccer does group play. Soccer does everything. If you realize what the NBA has leaned into from the flopping to the everything, it seems like NBA becomes more and more like soccer.
But explain to me how this
football actually went away from group play in the Champions League.
How does group play benefit the European fan? A fan that's probably going to have less time.
Well, number one, it differentiates it from the playoffs. Number one. Number two, it familiarizes it or makes it.
How much does the divisions have to do with the playoffs, anyways, right now?
Yeah, man, I don't work for the league office. I don't know why they did it this way. I'm
just asking you. You're saying it differentiates from the playoffs. How does it differentiate from the playoffs right now?
Because the playoffs are not in group play. The playoffs are not single knockout. Right? There's a version of this where maybe a lesser commissioner or a stupid person might have thought to themselves, oh, let's have some mini version of the playoffs where we do everything based on seedings or, something like that. You just can't do seeding. You can't do conference knockout play, in my opinion, right? Like You know what I mean? Like you're
It's
getting
still is
points,
conference.
the point differential.
It's
None of these.
already conferences. It's
But-
already
but
conferences.
It's East and West.
Every
You got the East
element of
records.
the every element of this, from single knockout to the point differential to the group play,
You
is
can do
leaning
the
into
exact
soccer.
same thing, but except make the
So then
group.
why can't the Heat and the Lakers be in the same group?
Time
Because it's the
differences,
conference.
time zones, largely.
Travel isn't an issue anymore. It just
It's
isn't.
the different,
they're
bro. They're
saying
already
it's
group
an
it up
issue.
in different conferences. They just switch up the teams every single year. It doesn't make any sense. It's
I
just
would like to see everything. If they're gonna do it this way, I would like to see everything intermingled. You know, like let's not discriminate.
I think Spill
what's
makes
up,
a good
you know?
point. I think Spill makes a good point with the divisions, because what it does is it enhances playoffs. Because we already have an issue now in the division. So when the Knicks and the Celtics see each other to go to Vegas for the Cup Championship, or in fact they see each other in the Cup Championship. Now this is a preview what the playoffs could possibly look like, and I think that creates even more buzz throughout the course of the regular season, because when they see each other in February, it's going to be even more hype, and when they see each other again in March, we're getting closer to the playoffs. So I think he's on to something with that.
I hear you,
All right, Shaw.
chill, but like I don't like the same old over and over and over. I would prefer like doing the groups be cross conference too. Like I would,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I would like some West Coast teams to be mixing with some East Coast teams, in particularly just in the in-season tournament. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how I feel about how we should do the 1 through 16 already.
Yeah.
But I see we're probably not going to do that. So at least give us a little bit of that action for the in-season tournament. You know, I would, because that's what I'm saying. I would like to see some other rivalries. You know what I mean? Like I'm just names, just like a Portland Trailblazers, Charlotte Hornet rivalry or something. You know what I mean? Like, you know, make those games really matter.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We about to get into these super chats. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you are subscribed to Player's Choice. And once again, this show is brought to you by PrizePicks, where you can play $5 instantly and get 50 back. PrizePicks, run your game, control your game, and win your game as well. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, fellas. We got a few super chats. What's good, Champ said Najee Marshall an option to defend SGA?
He's an option.
Yeah, I think the primary defender is going to be PJ Washington.
Okay. And chill. I didn't ask your prediction. Rockets versus Warriors. Who you got?
Houston.
Got Houston. Okay.
Yes.
He's a believer.
So
Mars, I'm gonna keep picking them, Mars. I'm gonna keep picking them until
I don't know what
y'all
to tell
can't keep
you.
losing
The
us
last
to
time
Bama.
not
Houston
gonna lose
beat them,
16
James
straight
Harden
times.
was on the team. I don't know why.
Yes,
I'm
Mars,
like,
and I'm gonna keep
Hold on,
picking
Mars.
them.
Didn't you tell me last night Magic were gonna win?
yeah, I
You're
had
going
the
to see
Magic
some
win.
flashes of
I
James
had the
Harden
Magic by
tonight.
8. I was
Green's
close.
going to be on the back of the
Nearly
jersey.
won.
Not really.
I was.
Leave-
Nearly won. We just lost.
Leaf Diggy sent through a member's chat. He said, why chill try to put 2016 KD and create a super team?
No, it was me.
First of all, it wasn't me.
It
That
was
was
me.
Mars was the one who suggested that.
Yeah,
I just
I
brought
did
it up.
that.
Come on, Leaf, lock in, man. Vint sent through a member's chat. He said Prime Shea or Prime Harden.
Prime
Harden.
Harden. Not close.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
I'm with Penn. Jackson Williams sent through a member's chat. He said, Mars, it's time for the water bottle analogy.
Damn, that's been a long time since I brought up the water bottle analogy. The good old days.
Toast the GOAT has been a member for 23 months. He said, Penn, that boof-ass logic about peak seasons acting like 2016 ain't happened.
Boof?
Boof.
What does it mean?
I don't know what that means either.
Go to
I think
Urban
trash.
Dictionary.
I think it means trash.
Does it mean trash?
Boof.
Based on the context of everything that was said in that discussion, I'd
I'm
assume so.
gonna choose to make my own version of it, and I'm gonna say that's a great ass logic. It's awesome.
Debbie.
Okay, thank you
Debbie.
very much. Thank you for
They're
the
saying it means BS, but I'm going to
Respectable.
disagree with them. I'm going to say it means awesome.
I'm
CC
the best.
Blackman.
Respect me. I'm the best defender on the panel. Okay.
Cook.
CC Blackman became a YouTube member today, and so did Gorilla. Shout out to CC and shout out to Gorilla. LaFlame sent through a super chat. He said, remember, chat, gambling is extremely addictive. Be careful. This is like being sponsored by Marlboro and pushing it on your young audience. Yes, you guys definitely be careful, but also have fun. Masinko sent through a super chat. He said, Anthony Black is so solid. Dub panel and chat. Shout out to Vincent Askew, D Brown, Alonzo G, and lastly, Rick Smits. My ugly ass supervisor looks like him.
Did Vincent ask you give Vernon Maxwell his money?
Nope. Still ain't giving his bread.
What's y'all think if the Orlando Magic are healthy? What's their ceiling?
They'll lose whenever they see Boston.
Are they a low
Whatever
budget
that is.
Oklahoma City?
Low budget.
They are bigger
wouldn't say
budget.
that.
I think they can beat any other team in the Eastern Conference except for Boston.
I don't think they can beat Cleveland.
And the Bucks.
They can beat. They took them. I'm pretty sure they took them
yeah,
7 last
the
year.
Bucks will be a tough team to be on if they can beat Milwaukee.
I think
Yeah,
they could beat the
facts,
Bucks.
facts,
The
facts.
defense the Milwaukee's defense is going
They
to get
took them to
picked apart.
7
Orlando's
last year.
offense is
Cleveland
very
is much better this year than we were last year.
Orlando's much better than last year.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken,
Well,
Indiana
are they?
took,
We don't even know if they're better than last year.
I think when Paulo and Franz get back, they're going to be at least the third.
Indiana took the Heat in 12-7. The Heat smoked them. The Heat handled them dudes next year in 6 games. Handled them.
We're going to see. The Cavaliers also don't have Braun walking down that door.
No, they do not. He's gone.
Ray Starr said, y'all understand Shea. This version of Shea will bust Curry in 2017. Curry is substantially better, but we're not going to act like Shea wouldn't fry him.
Well, no one's saying that Steph could guard Shea. What kind of play
Nobody's
is that?
saying that.
You're going to say Steph is substantially better, but when the whole argument we was making was that Steph is substantially better. So if that's the argument we made, then you're saying we're underselling him. But then you agree with it. You're also underselling him by your own argument. That's all we ever said. We ain't never say, oh, yeah, Steph going to lock him up. No one said that. So you're underselling Shea.
What's good, champ? Said, does it matter who Steph had on his team in 2017?
Oh, no,
Yes.
2021 Steph is better than Shea too. So if you want to do that, who Steph have on his team in 2021? He was still better than Shea. Well, it doesn't make a difference.
Yes, Penn, he is.
Okay.
Multi-Kenny said, Mars is having a master class of creating clips right now.
I'm a content creator, man.
Superman Real sent through another super chat. He said, my bad, Penn. So you said a superstar to you is someone dictating and playing chess on both ends. So who would that be, or who would be the best at that in today's NBA?
Jokic, Shea, Luka.
Both ends?
Jason Tatum.
No.
Oh, Jason Tatum don't
Both ends?
control both
But
sides
both
of it.
ends.
Oh,
I think
you say-
Giannis would be in there
If you
too.
add both
Giannis?
ends, then
Yeah.
yes, Giannis and Tatum, Embiid get into that conversation. But if we're talking like just seeing the game, moving the pieces around, like just on another level, yeah, it's Luka.
LeBron, is LeBron not still on that level in terms of seeing the game?
Sure.
Both ends?
Well, he
No,
still
no.
sees the game on defense. He just don't do what he needs to do.
Well,
He knows what he's supposed to
If
do.
he's not going to do
if
it, there's
he
nothing.
sees
Yeah,
the
but
game-
he's talking about seeing the game. LeBron knows what he's
not
meant to do. He just
physically
doesn't do it.
able
I can't
to
quantify
control
that
the
if
game
he's
that
good.
way anymore. He's not physically able to control the game anymore that way. And I don't understand why the turnovers are so high, but they are very high.
Like Anthony
Boy.
Davis would be in that category.
Void Century said, Spiller, fire ass background, by the way.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
a
heat.
nice little connection.
That's
you
for
know what I'm saying?
sure heat. I like that. I like that.
We'll get into the.
Are those all in plastic wrap?
Oh, of course.
We'll next time we'll get into is Superman a real superhero logic.
Oh my god.
What you mean?
Well,
He's
we
an
don't got
alien
time
because
for
he's
it.
not
Spiller.
from the
We
planet.
don't got time for it right now. Mo said, I'm watching the real GOAT MJ highlights right now. Dub show.
Oh,
Thanks,
I would watch
brother.
MJ highlights. They're so boring.
I thought Brown was the GOAT, but
Void, I thought Kareem was the GOAT.
It's Bill
I don't
Russell.
Who?
See? Well, we're not going to all agree with this. And then
It's Bill
Penn
Russell.
obviously got Jokic or Arvidas Sabonis. So it's going
You're
to
trolling,
be
right?
tough. Who?
Mars.
About Penn?
It's Bill Russell.
It's
We don't
Kareem
have time
Abdul-Jabbar.
to.
We don't.
promise-
We don't.
I will
we
make
Nah,
the
you're
best
trolling.
Bill
You're
Russell
trolling.
GOAT case possibly be made.
You
I
really
make, I make a pretty good Bill Russell GOAT case.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
100 do.
He does
I
not have
100
It's
those
Bill
cases.
Russell.
One-
I definitely
one
make the
day,
top
Spiller.
five.
It's 2024. Let's
I would stand
One
on
day,
that hill.
Spiller.
That's Bill
let's
Russell.
retire that.
Void Century said, Hero with the 63 true shooting percentage rating with 10 threes on 42% is nuts.
He's having a career year right now.
Philo Red said, Luka, the worst superstar big game since LeBron 2011.
No,
What?
no.
Nah, it wasn't that bad.
LeBron game 5 versus the Indiana Pacers in 2014.
I mean, last night was pretty bad.
Stop spreading propaganda. Burn that tape.
What do you have?
Void-
5 points, Mars, or 7 points? Something like
5
that?
points. 5
Yeah, he
points.
was garbage in that game.
Void Century said he'd have the ninth best offense and the best starting five in the NBA.
Did
Oh, they're the
you
best
not-
5 now. It
No,
was
they don't.
the Spurs before, but yeah, the Heat are figuring things out, which is interesting because I swear I hate watching them play, but they just finding ways to score. It's very interesting.
Masinko with another super chat. He said Orlando got all the Michigan boys. Hashtag go blue.
How many they got? 3?
Jet and both the Wagner brothers.
Yeah, it's 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's Caleb Houston? Didn't he go to? He went to Michigan too, right?
Did he?
Pretty sure he did.
Let me check.
I know he went to Montverde. I remember where he went to college.
Caleb Houston. Yeah, Caleb Houston was the
Michigan.
4th. Yeah, Caleb Houston is the 4th. And Gary Harris went to Michigan State.
Yeah.
So 5. Kind of.
Cam Runcho said Ox would love being an OKC fan. Thunder up.
Hmm.
Probably about 29 other teams he would love being a fan of too, or 28. Nico said off-ball scoring equals off-ball playmaking.
I think
Huh?
off-ball movement oftentimes gets like equated as like off-ball scoring. People always kind of either separate the two or compare the two. Like whenever Steph Curry's moving off the ball, that's what people are referring to when they're talking about off-ball scoring, I guess, or his
No,
ability
I think
to
it's
play
only when he
finish.
scores when he does that. If he doesn't score when he does that, that's not off-ball scoring. That's
Well,
just moving around.
Yeah, I mean that's gravity, but then if he's running,
Well, it's only
around-
gravity if you draw people to you. Otherwise, you're just moving.
right? But that's what Steph Curry always does. He draws gravity by his movement.
Not all the
Right.
time. Sometimes.
By just him existing, he's always
I-
a threat.
I've been studying movement shooters a lot because the Raptors seem obsessed with drafting this archetype. Emmanuel Quickley, Grady Dick, guys like this, Jacoby Walter, and just trying to understand the gap between a movement shooter and a stationary shooter. It's enormous. Enormous what
Like-
they do for the defense.
Steph is a better off-ball scorer than Luka Doncic.
Yes.
For sure.
Right?
He's a better off-ball scorer than everyone. And like the 2nd is like Reggie Miller or something.
MP13 said the Warriors were a big market before Steph? Question mark.
Yes. Yes, they were. The Bay Area is a huge market.
Huge
Yeah, I
market.
would say that, but I think I think what they're talking about is the Warriors were like the 30th most valuable franchise in the NBA or
Right.
something.
That's impossible.
They were just waiting
30th?
for a star to drop.
They were in a
That's,
bit-
that's why I
now-
see the Steph fans bring like Steph's impact. Like they were the 30th most valuable franchise.
They,
and now they're the
they
most
were in a
valuable.
big
I think
market.
that's
Let me
what-
rephrase that. They were in a big market. They weren't a big market team. They were definitely in a big market, though.
Does the move to San Francisco make them a bigger market?
No, I don't think it changes anything. Mm-mm.
Pirates saying tickets were $5, so he's saying the Golden State wasn't really doing much.
Well, I mean,
So
Steph
if you
will be
want- if
gone in
you-
a couple years, and tickets gonna be back to $3.
If you
So then the market isn't big. Steph is big.
hold on,
Tickets in a hot dog.
tickets were
$15. Take your kid to the game.
$5. What does that mean? The tickets to tomorrow's game, Miami versus Toronto, are $5.
That's because Toronto sucked.
That's true,
Mm.
but the Warriors suck too.
Yeah, but Lakers tickets are never $5, are they? I don't know. I'm talking.
But Bron is there. Like no matter how bad
Lakers
the
are a
in
legacy
2018
franchise.
were Lakers tickets $5 when Kobe had left and LeBron wasn't there yet?
The Lakers are
They
a
have to be
legacy
more than
franchise in a very,
I don't
very
know.
well.
That's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm
They
saying.
have to be more than
I-
5.
Kyle,
But
What,
that's what I'm saying.
Lonzo Ball, people were
The
paying.
market size
Oh, yeah,
is
Lonzo
not
was there,
market
you're right, Lonzo
wealth.
was there.
The average wealth of a person
2016,
in
17
LA.
Lonzo wasn't there. That was
Probably.
Brandon Ingram.
But there's no way people are getting Lakers games for $5.
all right, y'all. We got to keep it pushing. Mo said Prime Harden clears Dub Mars.
Facts.
Nico said, doesn't that mean peak T-Mac over Steph? Or am I wrong?
Yes, that's what that means.
That's ridiculous.
Jamal Williams with the last super chat of the day. He said it's obvious Penn has Canadian bias.
I grew up in
To
the
who?
States. I grew up in the States. I'm way more biased towards American stuff. I know way more about American politics. I know where but if I had to do a test to see what I knew more American geography or Canadian geography, I would definitely ace the American geography thing. Yeah, it's not Canadian bias. I've never capped for Canada. Nothing. Don't care at all.
In
I
there-
think Shay's fantastic.
RKNXT door sent through 99
Next
cents.
door, Ron.
Chill, that's RKNXT door.
Yeah, next door.
Facts. NXT door facts.
But either way it goes, before we get up out of here, fellas, tell the people where they can find you at. Chill, where can they find you at?
I'm on Chilltown Hoops on YouTube. I'm on Chilltown Hoops on TikTok. I'm not hard to find at all.
Where can they find you at, Mars?
Mars Talk Sports on TikTok and YouTube. And I also have a Twitter. I don't use it, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, just to say you follow me, then go ahead.
Penn, where can we check you out at?
Pensar Basketball on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram.
Spiller, where you at?
Spiller's Burner on TikTok and Spiller's Burner on Twitch. Spiller Chris on Instagram. And shout out to Ron for helping me get on the show.
No doubt, no doubt. Appreciate you for coming through. And y'all can find me in this Telegram group chat that's pinned at the top of the chat. We're going to be back tomorrow to talk about these in-season tournament games tonight. And in the meantime, y'all be cool.
Later.
Merry Christmas.
And
Merry Christmas.
we on the main stage of Playback on Friday. Yet again, the Lakers at the Wolves. Y'all catch us there.
Ooh, good
See you
game.
soon.
Nice.
Yes,
Merry
sir.
Christmas, guys.
Later.
Peace.